Hey guys, day 2 of World's Strongest Man. I've been feeling more refreshed now. I had a good night's sleep. How are you feeling?
Loopy.
Loopy
Absolutely
Lizzie.
loopy. Yeah. I accidentally called a dog that's called Marshmallow Milkshake earlier. It's like, hi, Milkshake. What? But no, I'm fine. I'm excited for today. It's
Well, yesterday
crunch time.
was there was some exciting stuff happening in the heats. Tristan Hoyth and Eddie Williams doing amazing in Group 1. Luke Stoltman, I think, expected to be doing well in Group 1. That was good to see.
Yeah.
Trey Mitchell clearly not back to his best, but a good finish actually for Trey, especially when you think, coming back from that injury, a moving event, good to see him get that finished.
Yeah.
Group 4 for me, that is the exciting one.
Group 4 is going to be a bloodbath today. I can feel it in my bones. I've got lots of stuff that I've uploaded that we can go through with people.
So
we've got those
some
visuals.
stuff.
So let's just say hello to everyone first. Who's here? Neil, thank you for becoming a member. Got lots of people who've been waiting nice and early. Alex Lungo's in the house. Rick is here. Hi, Rick. Thanks for coming back. Lots and lots of people, lots of friends. Cousin Fred gifting memberships. Thank you, Fred. New members, remember to check out the post.
Thank you very much to everyone that became a member yesterday. I think we had 100 new members yesterday.
Nice.
So we've got about 500 in total.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool.
Where are we? Hope Nick and Gav are okay. Yeah, so neither have officially pulled out. They're both still in the competition. So fingers crossed.
So just from a little bit of digging I did, Gav has had a knee issue ongoing for a fair few months now. And Nick has a bit of a forearm elbow issue from Europe's Strongest Man. So he just didn't want to make that worse, apparently. That's what I've heard. He knows he's got a good, 2 decent events today.
Yeah, Nick has, yeah. So fingers
crossed. So hopefully both get through unscathed with the rest of the show. Obviously, Bobby Thompson pulled out with an injury yesterday to his calf. He is the only athlete that's pulled out, though. Everyone else is still in and battling hard.
Oh, people telling me I'm looking fresh. That's good. Thank you. There you go.
Must be the filter we've got on.
Do we have a filter?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, have we stooped so low?
Would I even know how to?
No, that's true. Yeah, God. Ben Joyce is in the house. Ben Joyce has been very, very helpful. He's actually made some of the stuff that I'm going to show you guys in just a minute. Should we get straight into it then? Thank you, Random Axe, for becoming a member, and Rebecca Challenger. So let's go into my little box of tricks. First off, let's quickly run through the standings after day 1, starting, of course, with Group 1. So currently in the lead is Tristan Hoyth with 15 points, but right behind him is Luke and Eddie, both tied on 14 points. Then there's a little bit of a jump to Kevin Ferris on 9 points, Trey Mitchell on 8, and Oscar Zilkowski on 3.
It is going to be hard for 4th place and below to catch up to Eddie Williams and Luke Stoltman.
I can't see it now, to be honest. I think Trey could still do really well on the Viking press, but
he could win both of those events, and it's still going to be hard if those other 3 guys are still 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
This is going to turn out to be the heartbreak group. I mean, Eddie Williams, bless his soul, he's just living his absolute best life out there. Look, there he is.
Well, Eddie's always a jovial, happy person. He's a nice guy to be around.
He is.
And, I really didn't expect him to be battling for a place in the final. When you look at his past results, I mean, if you get the Strongman archives back up, just go on Eddie.
Yeah.
He's had one really good performance at the Giants Live Strongman Classic last year, which I'd say is his best result, where he came 5th. But other than that, he was 10th out of 12 in the World Tour final. He was 6th out of 6 in his heat last year at Worlds. He was 9th out of 12 in the World Tour finals the year before. He's normally lower end of the competitions that he's done. He's not competed a lot in the last year, and he's clearly put some hard work in, because
he's doing really well.
We know Eddie's got an amazing grip. His grip strength is phenomenal. He's done amazing on Hercules holds before. Very, very good when it comes to the stone walks. But the deadlift is what impressed me yesterday.
Yeah,
the improvement in his deadlift. Now today, he's got an event that hasn't been that good for him in the past in the Viking press. So that's another area I'm going to be looking out to see if he's really, really stepped up. Because if he's even top 3 on the Viking press, that is a monstrous improvement on what he's done in the past, and shows he is now here as one of the, the contenders.
Fingers crossed. I mean, to me, it's really sad that one of these three guys in the top three right now isn't going to make it, because Tristan, of course, this is his first World Strongest Man. He's leading the group.
Look at this as a group. Kevin Ferris has been in the final before. Yeah. Trey Mitchell has been fourth twice at World's Strongest Man. People were talking about Oscar as a top 10 in the world towards the end of last year. You never know with strongman. Things change so quickly. People improve, people's performances go down. You never know from comp to comp based off events. It's always exciting. So
now you can see Group 2 on the screen, currently being led by Mitchell Hooper with 17.5 points. Behind him is Andre Foitu with 14.5. Austin Andrade with 13. Gav and Spencer are currently tied with 7 points, and Nick Camby on 3. Now, this top 3, as it is right now, was the top 3 I predicted at the end of today, with Austin then winning on the stones.
Yeah, but both of us have these 3 as the top 3 in this group. And
we'll see how it pans out. I could see Andre winning the Viking press today. He won it at Europe's Strongest Man. He's very, very powerful in the shoulders.
Yeah, I haven't seen Austin do a Viking press, but I'd imagine just looking at his build, he's a strong presser.
Yeah.
Gav is a decent presser. He's clearly struggling with this knee issue. Spencer's good at Viking press, and so is Nicholas Camby.
Yes, Spencer actually, he beat the likes of Ian Bibby and Luke Stoltman when they did it at the Strongman Classic last year.
Spencer did, yes.
Yeah, Spencer did. Yeah. So, expect a good performance there. So things can still change.
And to be fair, the Viking press,
overhead,
although he's still good at it, and I'd expect him to get points.
Speaking of the devil, I popped a pick in of Mitch as well. And let's move on to Group 3. Adam Bishop. Do you know what? I feel bad, because I completely admit I overlooked Adam. And I think it's because his most recent performance, Britain's Strongest Man.
Let's get Adam up. Like, his recent performances have not been good.
Playing quite but it just shows,
strongman.
But we were there at Britain's, and we know he just killed himself on the
he looked
deadlift.
strong at Britain's. We watched that deadlift and we were like, wow.
Yeah.
And then it was just, okay, he's burnt himself out a bit here.
But yeah, he ended up in 6th place at Britain's, which, coming in as the defending title holder, was obviously really devastating for him.
Yeah.
But you're right. He hasn't had the best performances recently. I mean, he came 5th at Europe's Strongest Man last year, 2023. But I feel like Adams, if you're looking at him on the archives and looking at his stats, I don't think it reflects how good an athlete he is.
I think something to remember with someone like Adam is he's got so much experience. If we look through his whole career, there's been times he does very, very well. And we all know how good he is at certain events. The key for him today is going to be the Viking press. Again, I sort of mentioned that with Eddie Williams. Viking presses and pressing in general is Adam's weakness.
Yeah.
So if he can kind of get himself through that and still be in contention, he's going to be in an amazing place.
So just quickly looking at the rest of the group then. So Matt Ragg in a strong position with 15 points. Ivor Schmaxler still in contention with 10 points. And then behind him is Thomas Evans with 8, Parr with 7, and Rob Kearney with 6.
Yeah, Rob Kearney was talking a big game coming into this. And when you looked at the events, again, you thought these are good events for Rob.
He's got his best 2 events today. So let's say he wins his best 2 events today. The problem Rob is going to have is he's relying on people like Matt Ragg and Ivers to place in the bottom 2 or 3, which I just don't think is going to happen.
No, Ivers is very consistent. Matt Ragg is an absolute beast.
Yeah.
He's just so strong. It's hard to see that, but
who knows? Anything can happen.
We saw that yesterday. We just don't know.
So moving into Group 4 then, I mean, being strongly led by Evan Singleton. Rauno Hainler hanging in 2nd place with 11 points. Pavlo Cordiaca bringing himself right back into contention after the sandbag steeplechase. He's got 10 points. Marcus Crowder with 9 points, tied with King Francis. And then Evan Znana with 8. But it is so close in this group behind Evan.
Yeah, this is the exciting group. This is the most exciting group in terms of really any one of these 2nd to 6th place athletes have a chance of getting to the final, especially with the last event being a stone off. You just got to get yourself in that position. Looks like Evan Singleton is cruising now as a group winner. I think it would be very hard for anyone to stop him winning this group.
Yeah.
Rauno does not have the best events today. The Viking press, he's going to have to work real hard on. We know he's not feeling that well as well.
Sounded terrible on the phone earlier, but we're hopeful. Rauno won't give up. So we'll see.
No, put the people back up again for me a second.
There's your happy Evan anyway.
Roaring Evan.
Yeah.
Like Pavlo, day one was his bad day. So I'm expecting for him to stay in that top 3. And, you know, can Rauno keep the chasing pack of Marcus Crowder and Kane Francis and Evans Nana out of there? It's going to be difficult. They are all very close. There's no one I would say is like stand out in both events.
No.
There's athletes that are very good. You know, Evan Singleton for me is superb at both. So I can't see anyone catching him. But Pavlo, good at Viking press, would probably prefer a log or some other type of overhead event. Marcus is decent. Kane is good all-rounder. Evans not so good on Viking press, but he's very, very good at the car walk. So could be an interesting finish for this group.
Keep talking. The group 5 isn't on there for some reason.
Auntie
but
Liz.
No, it is. I know I uploaded it. There's something wrong with your version.
What do you mean my version? You're the one that does it. All right, let me hide that and just bring people back into the chat. When Auntie Liz gets that up, we'll have a look at group 5. But let me just check these comments.
What is going on?
Because I saw we had a super chat. Student drinks, thank you very much. Glad to hear we haven't lost any more athletes. Do you think much will change standings wise with today's events? Yes, we're going through that right now. Like I said, group 4, who knows in that group?
Wide
like
open.
Literally anyone from 2nd to 6th place still has a chance. Other groups are looking a little bit more secure, but they've still got to put the work in. You're not in a position yet where if you're, like, I'd say Evan Singleton's in a good position, but he's going to want to secure that. So I don't see any of the top guys kind of taking their foot off the gas until they are secured in that first place. Then maybe going into the car walk, if he's got enough points just to pick it up and move it, he might back off then. But right now, I'm expecting Evan, to go out onto the Viking press and still want to come out on top.
Yeah.
And I'd say the same about like the likes of Luke, who has to really. His group is so tight. Tom Stoltman, Mitch Hooper. No one's in a position they can just kind of ease up just yet.
No. Okay, we've got it up now. So this is group 5 after day 1. So Tom is now leading this group of 16 points. Behind him is Jaco Schoonwinkel with 15, Wesley Dewinski with 13, Nathan Goltry on 10, Adam Ruszkowski with 6, and of course Bobby Thompson had to withdraw from the competition. So, but this is a very close group as well. And I just don't see, I still think Tom is probably going to win this group, but it's very tight behind him, isn't it?
Jaco Schoonwinkel is just doing incredible, as is Wesley Dewinski. I've been very impressed with what I've seen from Wesley. I haven't seen an awful lot of him. Obviously, we saw him at OSG last year and here at Worlds. Great competitor. Those 3 looking good, but Nathan's not too far behind.
And Nathan's great at stones. I know he would love to get into that stone off.
I know Adam Rosowski's kind of slipped a bit there, but he's very, very good at yokes. So, you know, can he pick up some points on that? It's difficult when you have that bad start to really pull yourself back in.
It is hard, yeah.
Because even winning, you've got to hope that the other guys do badly, and that's it's
a big ask, isn't it? You're relying on someone else doing poorly when you can't control what they do. Manical Moose, thank you for becoming a channel member. So what I'm going to show you guys now is this is what Ben Joyce did for me, bless him. So this is let's change the way we look because we do not look good sat behind there. There we go. Let's pop us in the corner. So this is the oh no, that's the wrong one.
Auntie Liz.
This is the top 20 if they were all competing against each other.
This is interesting to look at.
Yeah, I find this interesting. In fact, we'll come back to that one in a minute. Let's start with the Webster stones. I hope you can all see it. So that's, and how everyone would have placed if it was one large competition. Obviously, it doesn't really count because people only have to be who they have to be in their group. But I still think it's
always interesting to compare though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So obviously Eddie Williams is the standout on this one. But it goes to show, like, you know, there's no real surprises in here. But what I like looking at is where are the groups?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is most of one? Because you can sort of see if a group was imbalanced or not by looking at this kind of data. Oh, what's happened here?
Oh, what did you do?
It's because your phone's ringing. Hold on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Let's go onto the deadlift ladder. So that was won by Adam Bishop with 27 seconds, Matt Ragg in second place with 30 seconds, and then Mitch. Those three were the only ones to get in under 40 seconds.
I've just got to ring someone a second. If I'm just going to leave you to it.
Ah, is it important?
It looks like it might be.
Okay. All right then. And then the sandbag steeplechase, Tom and Mitch just so close to each other on this one. Pablo Cordiaca not that far behind with 57 seconds. I don't know about you guys, like we expected not everyone would finish, but I'm quite surprised the amount of guys that only managed sort of 3 or 4 markers, I guess, in terms of the way that they scored it. I can't believe he's left me. He's so rude. And there we go. That would be the standings. Hello. That would be the standings if everyone was competing against each other. So this top 10 cuts off at Jaco Schoonwinkel with Luke Stoltman, Matt Ragg, Tristan Hoth, Eddie Williams, Andre Fortu, Bish, Tom, Evan, and Mitchell also in that top 10. So there we go. Let's get rid of all of that. Hopefully Loz will be back soon. Deary me. Andrew, did we do this one? Thank you for the super chat. Good luck. A good day to have a good day with Liz and Loz. You guys are 2 thumbs up. We often wondered what some of strongman occupations were before strongman. Do you know of many strongmen's occupations before?
Yeah, a few. Terry Hollands was like a electrician, or I think he used to fit air conditioning units and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Squeezing himself into different areas. Obviously, Mark Felix plasterer through his whole career.
Yeah. Adam Bishop worked as a strength and conditioning coach for a rugby club. Yeah.
Yeah. Eddie Hall was like a mechanic.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, Ivers still works now, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ivers is like a regional manager for a company that I don't really understand what they do.
Matt Ragg is a manager for McDonald's.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
There's a
Who works in steel in the USA? Is it Jerry? Jerry Pritchett. Again, that's like a regional manager role where he travels around quite a bit, or he used to anyway.
I think Nick Best used to work selling kind of alcohol for a brewery.
Yeah.
So lots of varied jobs. I guess.
A lot of them do work in like in gyms or own their own gyms.
There's a lot of guys now, either into coaching or they kind of work in gyms or they own a gym. But there's still plenty that have full-time jobs.
Yeah. Did you need to give us an update?
Yes, bad news. Bad news, unfortunately. I don't know the reason why, but guessing an injury, Gav Bilton has had to pull out.
Okay.
So that is sad news to hear. We wish Gav all the best. Yes. It looked like he needs a bit of time to kind of get himself feeling good again. But I don't know the reason why, but just had his coach contact me and say, unfortunately, he's had to pull out. So sad news for Welsh fans and Gav Bilton fans.
Oh, Laura mentioning my T-shirt. Yes, thank you. I've put on my Everybody Loves Rauno T-shirt today because I'm keeping the faith. If I'll stand up for you. There we go. There's Rauno. Gav, actually, just talking about him. Loz, me, and Brucey. I did not make or design this T-shirt. This was a gift from Big Bang Berry, who's actually provided me with quite a few T-shirts.
Yes, indeed.
I don't usually wear this one. Alexa has it for a night dress, but I thought I'd whip it out today. Luke Stockman in 7th, classic. Oh, it's funny how Luke and that number 7 seem to be.
Have you put the overall scores up?
Yeah, but I panicked because you weren't here, and
well, let's put it up again, just because we haven't started yet.
So, all right then.
And I've got things to say.
Well, I had hoped. I was just like, I'm getting the stuff together for you. I was hoping you'd be the one talking about it. Right, hold on. Let's pop us in the corner.
Yeah, so this is really interesting when you look at the overall. Obviously, the big 3 are the top 3. Mm-hmm. I think the big 3 being Mitch, Evan, and Tom Stoltman. Adam Bishop there in 4th overall, which is just shows how good he's doing in this day one. Andre Fortu, Eddie Williams, Tristan Hoth. Look, he's got 3 athletes from group number 1 in the top 10. That's the only group of 3 athletes at the moment in the top 10. So it shows how tough groups can be. I mean, no disrespect, Rauno's in 2nd place and he's right down here
in 14th
overall.
Place,
so it is interesting when you compare these things. It'll be even more interesting by the end of today to compare, especially after 5 events. You can't go on the stones because obviously not everyone gets to do it.
Obviously, this type of data isn't perfect because an uncharacteristically good or bad performance in one event is either going to shoot you up or down that leaderboard. But it is still very interesting. I do enjoy that we can look at the data this way now that everyone does the same events.
It's quite nice. to think that we do get the same events for each athlete. In the
it
groups.
should always be that way. I understand back in the day the variety for TV purposes, but in the interest of fairness, I think it should be the same.
And
events.
as we know, events are so important when it comes to strongman. You can be, if you say you're a top 50 guy in the world, come out of that top 10, you're top 50 in the world. You can go to one competition, you can smash it. You can go to the next competition, you can do really bad. And that is the same for all these guys. So many times you might see Ivers beat 90% of the people in this field, goes to another comp, not so good for Ivers. Pavlo Cordiaca can go to a comp and win. Next comp, he's looking average, and it is literally like that for all of them. It's why when you look at the guys like Mitch, Tom, Evan Singleton, or let's kind of say like the Brian Shaws, the Drunuses, they were so good because they just always would come out on top.
Yeah, just a reminder there. Luke worked on oil rigs. I don't think Tom ever did.
No, I don't.
No, but Luke 100% did, because I remember when he finally quit, because he used to have to train on the oil rig and live out over there for quite long periods of time, didn't he?
Yeah,
looked horrible, to be honest.
Yes, indeed.
It's tough work.
I heard Rauno has OnlyFans. And that would be disturbing.
Yeah, it would.
But Gav is ex-army. Yep, indeed.
Yeah, Gav was ex-army.
Yeah.
And he used to play rugby as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
People saying they're sorry for Gav.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not had much luck at Worlds, Gav.
No, he hasn't. I mean, he managed to get into the stone off last year.
Lois is Gav's friend, and she's just saying that
he's good,
good,
everyone. Okay, shall I get rid of this thing?
Yes,
now?
you can get rid of that now. I just wanted
to
have a quick look at it. That was all.
No, that's okay. You're welcome to.
We're all caught up.
It's here for everyone. I heard someone detached a bicep yesterday. Not true? No.
Nick Camby has issues with his forearm.
Yes.
Hey, Alex. Lungu's in there.
Unfortunately, sometimes, and I'm not saying that's what's happened here, sometimes people literally just make stuff up and then comment it as fact. And if they sound convincing enough, it spreads very, very quickly. Yeah. So, but not saying that's what happened. It might be a genuine misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for Gav, but he's clearly been struggling since Brits. Hopefully he takes a good enough amount of time to really recover properly, because like you said, he was looking great towards the end of last year. And at Britain's strongest man.
Again, it just shows like at that level, they're all good. They're all so good, and depends on who's in form, depends on the events, depends on lots of factors.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the one thing that I like now about the sport. We're in a generation where we have so much talent. There are athletes that are not at Worlds that are absolutely awesome, and everyone that's at Worlds is a high-level strongman.
Yeah.
People could say, "Oh, they had a bad result here." Well, every athlete has bad results on occasion.
Yeah.
Maybe barring one or two freaks of nature.
Evans Nano works for a bank, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He certainly used to.
Yeah. Who has the best moustache for the finals now? I mean, there's not many standalone moustaches, is there?
Not many good ones, anyway.
There are no good. No, Gav's was the only good one. Sorry, Mitch. I think Mitch is the only one with just a moustache on his face.
Yeah.
Is he?
Probably.
Everyone else either like has a beard or goatee type thing. What's that thing Evan's got? What's it called? Some sort of strap, chin strap.
A chin strap.
Is that what it's called? Is it called?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm more of a full beard kind of guy.
Yeah, you're a full bush. Oh dear. Someone was a shampoo tester. I've heard this before. Was that Gabe Pena?
Is this true?
Yeah, because I asked him about it. Have I gone crazy? I feel like Gabe Pena was a shampoo tester. Someone, please confirm or deny.
Gav was in the Welsh Guards. He wasn't a Marine.
Oh, okay. Callum Todd, been sleeping like ass recently. You guys get me through the workday today. What sleeping like ass look like? Badly.
Probably badly.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's just a fun way to describe it. Mega money in oil rig. Yeah. Like,
Uncle Fred drives a truck.
Uncle Fred.
Start time. We should be starting in about 5 minutes, guys. I think.
Yeah. Where are we? Gabo. Oh, no.
Been a few farmers as well. Do strongman.
Yeah. Yeah, there has. Oh, lots of people correcting each other. You've got the chat on there as well. You're ahead of me. I don't like that. Serious question, Lars. If Thor has the opportunity to go for 505 at Strongest Man on Earth, do you reckon he can do it?
I'd love to see it. Genuinely, I think, especially at Shaw's comp, it's going to be without a suit. To see someone pull 505 without a suit would be just epic.
Oh, I think it's called a soul patch. Is that right? A soul patch? I thought that was one that was just a little bit there. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this field.
Are you sure? You look pretty bushy there.
How dare you? Oh, dear. World's Strongest Man should mobilise Gav and Bobby to produce some comedy gold for us, like Bish and Gav on the water ski things last year. Yeah, that would be an interesting combination, Bobby and Gav.
Yeah.
Big Loss got the lumberjack look.
I get mine. You chucked away mine. You know, like the Stoltmans have those kind of checkered tops. I used to have some of them when I first met Liz. She didn't like them and chucked them away. I was like, where's my top?
It was an ugly shirt. I did you a favour. Yeah. It's not like we met and then I started throwing your clothes away. This was years down the line and it had been years since he wore it. So I thought it was fair game.
And then one of those days I wanted to go wear it. I looked in my cupboard and couldn't see it. It's like, where is it?
Oh dear. I've got no... Gabe being a shampoo tester has to be a winder. No, probably Toby. I don't know. Someone please message him and ask. Auntie Liz, did you like the meme? Oh, yes, I did. It was me looking for the Jumbotron. I did. That did give me a chuckle. Thank you. Sean, thank you for the super chat, but I cannot see it. Can you look for a comment from Sean McCormick, please? You look specifically for that, and I'll try and keep on top of everything else. Group 4 should be going balls to the wall on the Viking press. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be very important. I am worried for Rauno. I'm not going to lie.
I think Rauno's worried for Rauno.
Yeah. He messaged, I say last night, it ended up being like 2 a.m. our time.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck, I made a mistake. He said like he should have picked up the sandbag much higher to get that clearance for the steeple.
They look like awkward sandbags. I've seen quite a few of the pictures on the World's Strongest Man Instagram. And even though they weren't heavy, they were quite big.
Yeah,
they fill them with like I don't know what it actually is they fill them with, because it's not just sand.
It's a combination.
Yeah, so it's much bigger than it actually, than say if you've got like a normal Cerberus sandbag full of sand. It's a little bit easier than these ones they have at Worlds. They're a bit more awkward. You can't squeeze your hand into them like you can a bag full of sand.
Yeah. Group 1 are coming to the holding area now. So they are due to start in 3 minutes. They almost definitely won't start in 3 minutes, but hopefully they can keep to schedule today. With the Viking press, the great thing is there's no proper real reset. I mean, said that on the deadlift ladder and it still took bloody ages, but we'll see.
I wonder what truck stop Cousin Fred is at.
I don't know.
Hopefully a good one.
A good one. Liz is correct. Soul patch is just the center. Thank you. There we go.
You know some stuff.
I do know some stuff.
Liz should train for the 505.
She did smash it. 505 pounds.
That's still a lot.
Chin strap is a thing. Thank you, Jojo. There we go. Who knew? Yeah. Who knew I knew so much about facial hair? More than you. Get lost in flannels. It wasn't a special shirt or anything, guys. Like, it was nothing.
Thank you very much, Derek. We appreciate the message.
Work call. Click a comment. Click one at random.
Historically, every athlete from Finland seems to be a carpenter. There were a fair few carpenters from Finland.
Yeah, there was quite a few carpenters.
Well, Jukka Ahola became an actor. He owns a gym, and he does a lot of acting now.
Yeah. My T-shirt is crazy. Thank you. No live show? No. There is no live stream, unfortunately. This is as close as it gets, and it's not even close.
Where is Eddie from? He's from Australia.
Oh, sorry, Williams. Yeah. Because we talked about Eddie being a mechanic. Stoke.
Eddie Williams.
Yeah.
He's from Australia.
Yes, he is, yeah. Yeah, he lives in Adelaide, I think. The sandbag looked loose as well, so it's going to make it really tricky as it's shifting. Yeah, that's right. They're quite They can be quite floppy sometimes, can't they?
These ones weren't like the actual like normal sandbag was quite filled out, wasn't floppy. They had a Husafell type sandbag which looked a bit more floppy. And actually there's a video of Pavlo carrying it upside down.
Oh, okay, interesting. He's a great loader, isn't he, Pavlo?
Yeah, he was very quick.
How is the crowd looking? Not sure yet. If anyone can
I know they haven't sold out for yesterday and today, but they apparently have sold out for the final.
Yeah, I feel like they could have sold out for today and yesterday.
Well, I've already seen comments. I've seen comments saying from people that went last year, and they said like because of last year they would never go again.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. But I do think if they just pushed it harder and reminded people more frequently, then they would have sold the tickets.
Yeah, it's difficult in America, particularly because it's such a big country. People have to plan these things. Yeah, you can't sort of just push the day before.
People are willing though. They came last year.
What I'm saying is they didn't push.
No,
to sale tickets. True. If they pushed a few weeks out or a month out, I think they would have sold. But if they push today or yesterday, it's a long way for people to come.
Oh, yeah. No, you've missed the boat at that point, haven't you? Yeah. But so I was reading comments from people that have been there. Obviously, it's more comfortable this year. People have got seating. People can see, which is lovely. I think the only, not even criticism, but some things that people missed was the fact that they're actually not at the barrier anymore. So they felt like they missed that sort of potential chance of like interaction with the athletes. Yeah. From like the other side of it, though, I think that's actually not necessarily a bad thing from the athlete's perspective. What do you think? Like not having people lean over for a fist bump and stuff.
What, for athletes?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think it's good for athletes, certainly before an event.
No.
I think afterwards if you want to kind of, it's quite nice when you see the athletes running like high five the crowd or something, especially when there's younger fans there and stuff. I think that's quite nice.
No, that is nice. Yeah. I'm a grump. No, I was thinking more of that separation before, like going into an event.
I think beforehand you've got to understand the athletes are kind of in the zone, they're focused. But I think once you've done the event, it's quite nice to show that emotion, whether it's good or bad. Sometimes we're humans. Sometimes you're not going to be happy. Other times you're ecstatic, and you see that roar from like an Evan Singleton or something, or Evans Nana will be running around high-fiving everyone. Luke Stoltman has done that quite a lot. I think it's nice for that interaction.
It is nice, yeah. Loz and Liz, it's cheese rolling weekend. How do you think a strongman would fare chasing cheeses?
Oh my God, they would be destroyed. Like, could you imagine a strongman, a 300+ pound man running down a hill chasing a cheese, and then they start rolling and smash? Their career would be over.
They could kill people as well.
They could kill people. They could kill themselves. They could start an avalanche.
On an otherwise normal grassy
It is not something I would recommend to a strongman. It's a hilarious thing to see.
For those that don't know, you have to check it out at some point. It happens
not
just outside of Gloucester, isn't it? And it's an annual event. It's a cheese rolling event where this massive bell of cheese goes down a hill. There's a men's division,
hill.
Women's
it's
division.
Kind of like, and people are crazy running down there chasing it, and they're flying, rolling.
The prize, if you win, is the cheese. It's like an old tradition.
It's mental.
Oh dear. What fun. Look, Rongo Keen's here. Hi, team. I work in the gold mines in Australia.
Yes,
I have for 16 years. Yeah. Owns his own company as well, Rongo. In the gold mines. That sounds so cool, doesn't it? Yeah. Expect him to come out like covered in gems. He'd be like I
think they're usually covered in like just dust and soot.
Well, I know he's a fan of the film Moana because obviously he does the character, but he's more like the crab that comes out covered in gems. Love you, Rongo. Hope you're doing well. It's already going to be quite late over in Australia. Correct name for a soul patch is a douche stash. 505 gram deadlift. So rude, Elizabeth.
Canadian athletes have been impressive on day one. They have indeed.
Yeah, really impressive. As it stands as well, the only American that looks quite certain to qualify for the final is Evan Singleton.
At the moment,
yeah. And there's 9 Americans there, which must be record-breaking in recent years. But we'll see how it pans out. Everything can change today. Some of these groups are really close.
Did you see that comment? Colin Bryce was some kind of space cowboy.
Oh, yes, he was. Space cowboy thing.
Colin Bryce was a teacher.
Yeah, school teacher. Wasn't he like a reserve teacher? So he taught, he taught lots of different, taught whatever he had to. Where can I actually watch the event? In Myrtle Beach.
Yes, if you can go to Myrtle Beach, you can watch it there.
Yes. either on the little jumbotron or
And believe me,
you get a
guys,
ticket.
I've had messages from people saying, "Oh, do you get fed up with people asking where they can watch a live stream?" I am more fed up that we cannot watch a live stream.
Yeah.
That's the genuine truth.
Yeah, we don't get fed up with people that are new to the sport and assume that they can watch it. You would expect to be able to
We're
watch it.
2024. You'd expect to be able to watch.
Yeah. What does Gav's group look like now with points since he dropped out?
Well, the points will all be the same.
What group is he? Group 2?
Yes.
Let's have a quick look. So with Gav out of that, then we've got just Spencer sitting on 7.
Yeah.
And
So, Gav is still in there with 7, but he won't obviously move. So it becomes even harder for Spencer and Nick Camby to try and close that gap as well, because the worst anyone can do now is 2 points. So worst case, Andre is going to be on 17 points. Okay, it's possible, but I can't see him only getting last place on the next 2 events.
No, absolutely not. No,
so it just makes it very, very hard for Nick Camby and Spencer to kind of pull themselves back into that top 3. So I really see that as a
almost set
now. I can't see anyone catching Mitch to win the group. I can't see anyone catching the other 2 for third place and second place. The battle will be who's going to have the advantage going into the stones. It's a small advantage that second place has going into the stones. So as if you finish in second place in the group, you go second on the stone. So say Liz was third, I was in second, she would have to lift first. I just have to lift that stone back. So I'd never necessarily have to do more than her.
You just have to
But you would have to do 1 extra than me to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a small advantage for the guys that aren't the best stone lifters.
Yeah. If people are level in their stone lifting ability, it's a huge advantage, especially when you get to a 200-kilo stone, because you're not going to get someone that lifts that kind of weight that many more times than you.
No.
You know, you look at a deadlift result, often athletes are tied, or it's 1 rep more or 1 rep less.
So the dog has farted and it absolutely stinks.
I'm glad you know it's her and not me.
She's under my chair. Oh, goodness. Oh, gross.
Oh, I can smell it now.
Yeah. I love her so much, but she stinks.
Oh.
Where are we? I don't think Bobby Thompson liked me trying to give him a kiss for luck last year.
No, he definitely would not have liked that.
You know who'd like it even less? Rauno.
Yeah, and
Ivers, yeah. Joseph, thank you for the super chat. I live in South Carolina and they did no advertising for World's Strongest Man in the state. Yeah, and that's the thing, just even local advertising, not necessarily strongman fans, but people that are local and are like, oh, that sounds really cool. We'd like to go see that. But yeah, those stands could easily have been filled, but they're not. It'd be interesting to see the difference at the weekend and how it's all controlled with the crowds and everything.
Yeah.
Because obviously last year in the final, it was an absolute, it was just rammed, wasn't it? It was crazy.
Do you want to get the Strongman archives up on there?
Yeah, sure. Oh,
the athletes have arrived for event number 1 now, so hopefully they will be starting soon.
Yeah.
Do we know if it's 1 at a time? Have you got the rules there?
Yeah.
For today?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go through today's rules.
Yeah. So it's 2 at a time. Thank goodness.
Good.
So the weight is 150 kilos in the hand. This is the first event, the Viking press. They have a 60-second limit, 2 men going at a time, and their back will be to the apparatus, so they're facing outwards. A good lockout is bringing it down to the ears and then locking it at arm's length, whatever arm's length looks like for that.
Lockout, let me see a lockout, because I wouldn't have given you that. That's better.
Well, I have like elbows that obviously extend. No double dipping. So for those that don't know what double dipping is, you can bend your knees at the start of the lift, but you can't then bend them again to lock it out. So you can't like catch it in a jerk style motion.
I love your demonstrations. You don't ever lock out.
Well, I don't want to be getting my armpits out, Lizzie, if I'm honest. I'm just trying to read the rules. Be professional.
As you were.
Resting is allowed. So they are allowed to put it down and take some seconds to rest.
And it's important to read these rules, because that's not always a rule. No. Sometimes in a Viking press, you pick it up as soon as you are done with that attempt and you put the Viking press down, your attempt is finished.
Yeah.
So the fact they're letting athletes put the implement down and it's a time limit. They can get back under. They are not allowed to drive from the floor straight to a lockout. So they have to stand up with it first, and then they'll drive up. But that isn't always the same in every competition. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there in case people weren't sure.
Yeah, there we go. And those are the rules for this competition, or this event, sorry. Right. They should be starting very soon. They're only 10 minutes late so far today. Lovely. Oh, Cadbury or Galaxy? Galaxy for me.
Galaxy.
Uncle Eggnog.
Although I really like Cadbury's cream eggs.
You do, don't you?
Yeah. I go for Cadbury's cream egg, but if we're just talking a chocolate bar, Galaxy.
George, thank you for the super chat. Hi both. I know it's not much, but I spend countless hours watching your videos, especially the Sunday Live on Monday and the 24/7 coverage on big shows.
Thank you,
George,
very,
that's really
very
kind.
much.
Honestly, we do not expect anything at all. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't just liked the video, and that is more than enough.
Like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go and subscribe to the channel now, and we massively appreciate it. If you want to become a member or super chatters, thank you very, very much.
Monica loves a bit of cheese rolling.
You'll have to come down. You and Maggie will have to come over, and we will take you to where they do it, because it's about an hour from here.
We'll bring some baby bells, like for a miniature version.
But just for God's sake, don't let me and Magnus try and run down that hill.
Oh, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't let you roll down that hill, Lozzie, because you pick up too much speed and you go flying off.
Like I said,
no
avalanche.
Oh, and Maggie's knees? Absolutely no way. No. I'm hoping to get a few invites this year so I can try to get to Worlds next year. Any comps you think I should try to go to? Ooh.
If you get the opportunity at any Giants Live, I would be messaging them saying you are up for, certainly like the World Tour Finals. I guess they've probably got all the athletes for
Ask to be
Classic.
Put on the reserve list for every single competition. So you're willing, you're able.
Ready to come.
Yeah.
Other than that, maybe look at some of the qualifiers. I know it sort of sometimes feels like a step backwards, but OSG, Arnold's qualifiers, Shore Classic qualifier. If you win that and you're competing in those big comps,
you're straight to Worlds.
It's a hard thing to take for a good athlete to have to do. But I've told people that have been to Worlds before, you can't just go to Worlds and expect that invite. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. I coached 2 athletes that were competing at Worlds last year, and after Worlds, we sat down, had a chat, and they were like, "Oh, which I'm going to be training for Worlds for next year." I was like, "Guys, there's no reason you're going to be going back to Worlds. You have to prove that you're good enough and earn that spot." And some people just don't like being told that, but it's a fact now. We're not in an easy generation of strongmen. There's so many talented athletes just snapping at people's heels.
Yeah.
Like, I have an athlete that I coach who beat Nick Camby at OSG. He is on the cusp of becoming like a high level athlete. Yeah, stupidly strong guy. And he is, I'm always honest with him. We're always pushing. We're always training hard. Was he second or third at the Arnold?
He came third in the end.
He was
leading.
He was actually leading going into the last event.
Yeah.
He's an absolute beast. And he's not the only one. There's so many great athletes out there that are on the verge of that level. Yeah. Do not for one second think and I know Rongo doesn't, but I'm just saying this so people understand. Don't think just because you've had an invite to Worlds, you are a guarantee for next year. You have to go and keep proving it, and take the opportunities that you get.
I had to. This one just made me laugh. I got it. Nice to see a different pair of tits on Liz's chest. Who were the tits, though? Presumably,
it's me,
Loz and Colin.
No, it's me and Gav.
Oh yeah,
round nose in your cleavage, and then Colin's hiding underneath. And who's the other one?
That's me.
That's you.
There we go. Rongo's so shiny.
Yeah. Like OSG, like top 3 from OSG have all made it to Worlds. Now, I know for a lot of people around the world, OSG is hard to get to. It's obviously a big advantage being American, with it being in America the last few years. But unfortunately, we don't have many more opportunities other than that. And anyone from around the world can upload their entry to qualify for OSG.
I reckon Rongo could smash at OSG as well.
I reckon so.
Who's the most argumentative out of you both?
I don't think either of us are that argumentative, but and we're both quite stubborn if we feel we're right.
Yeah, we don't like backing down.
I would say I'm more laid back, but when the foot goes down and I'm really stubborn about something, then I'm pretty stubborn.
Yeah, I'm just.
But for the most
stubborn.
part, I'm just like most husbands that just want an easy life. I'm like, well, as long as she's happy, then I'm happy.
I don't think either of us are particularly like we're those choose your battles type of people. We don't make something out of nothing, do we?
No.
Like, so yeah.
I think I'm better at talking about stuff.
Yeah.
You're more keep it inside type person.
Yeah.
But we have got a lot better at sort of communicating and knowing how to do things to keep the other one happier.
Yeah, 12 years together will do that, also.
Well, it'll either separate you or you could have learned.
Yeah, I guess. Hooper is looking mighty strong. Yeah, he's looking good for the final. What is this? Roaming with the Milligans. Thank you for the super chat. Got ticket for Sunday. Ah, awesome. We hope it's
you
great.
enjoy
I'm
it.
sure the atmosphere of the weekend is going to be brilliant. Isaac Rogers is the dog. Is that a super chat or a camera swoops are happening?
Yeah.
Can you look for Isaac Rogers? I don't know if it's a super chat or perhaps a sticker. Sometimes I poop a little bit when I do sandbag carry, says Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Sorry,
Can you find it?
No, I couldn't find it.
Okay.
It doesn't go back far enough on here.
Someone's saying who ran World's Strongest Man before Colin? Well,
Colin doesn't run
it.
World's Strongest Man.
No.
This is a kind of myth that seems to come up each year. Colin is employed by the company that own World's Strongest Man
on like a contract, a sort of rolling contract on an annual basis.
He's not the organizer of World's Strongest Man. He is an advisor, I guess, to them, but he doesn't have final say in anything. And Colin gets a lot of shit, and he never comes and defends himself.
I've never seen him,
but
no,
he probably should, because
he could stamp out a lot of the. Yeah.
Well, it's up to him, I guess. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't stand it if it was me there. I'd be like, right, you bitches, I'm going to set the record straight.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it doesn't seem to bother him that much.
No.
Yeah.
And Colin's an interesting one because you can change Colin's mind and you can have a discussion with him and he will, like, even I've had a few conversations with him recently where he's starting to go off the stone off.
Yeah, yes. We're trying to use our positive influence on him.
But you can have a conversation with him and he'll listen and he will take people's advice.
He's a big thinker, isn't he?
He's not necessarily going to do what you say. You know, he's done a great job with Giants Live, along with Darren Sadler. I think both of them do an incredible job. If anyone's ever been to a Giants Live, you'll probably enjoyed the hell out of it. We always enjoy going to them.
Yeah.
But we all want the sport to be better. I think like Brian Shaw wants the sport to be better. We want the sport to be better. The Giants Live do, every promoter does, because the bigger the sport gets, the better it is for everyone. But not everyone has the same ideas and ways of going about it. And it's just sometimes working and communicating and trying to figure out between us all, because none of us know, none of us have the answers, but it's just trying to figure out what the best way is to keep improving.
So Kevin and Oscar are out, so they're going to be the first heat up for the Viking press in Group 1, just doing the TV intros, and then they go. So this is going to be in reverse order from the previous event, which was the sandbag steeplechase. So after Kevin and Oscar, we're going to have Eddie and Trey, then Luke and Tristan. So for Luke and Tristan, it's a real advantage to be able to go after Eddie, the other guy sitting in contention right now, because they'll know what they need to do.
So who did you say is up first?
First is Kevin and Oscar.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then it's Trey and Eddie. And I was just saying it's a big advantage to Luke and Tristan.
And Eddie has not done well on this event in the past. So he's either going to absolutely shock people or the other two are going to be thinking, oh, thank God.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. I mean, I don't know that much about Tristan's stone lifting, but I'd be surprised that to not see Luke qualify if he's in a stone off in either position. Yeah, I think Luke would get through the stone off.
He's been in stone offs before. He's got experience, but one step at a time. A big performance on the Viking press, he could put himself into first place.
I get carried away. Uncle Eggnog, thank you for the super chat. Still haven't forgiven Colin for shouting at you at the World's Strongest Man 2017 tyre flip. Good job I wasn't there. I would have said, don't you dare shout at him. There's a bit of a story to that.
I know how to trigger Colin, and I was doing it on purpose just because of some of the...
Or Oscar stopped almost immediately.
Okay.
Kevin slowing.
We'll find out numbers ASAP.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, so what happened with that? Loz and everyone was getting fed up. So Loz said something that he knew would piss Colin off, and it did. So Colin was like, right, no, I'm just making the decision.
Basically, there was 3 strong men with very big egos that were wanting things their own way. And I just from being experienced, I know what sort of triggers Colin, because Colin can feel that pressure from athletes sometimes. So I knew if I said something, it would kind of snap him out of what was going on and remind him that he was the referee.
Yeah. He came up and thanked you afterwards, didn't he? He's like, thanks for getting me out of dodge there, Loz. Just waiting on some numbers.
There's actually 4 incredible strongmen in that competition, and 3 of them were arguing about something, and one of them was just like, what colour's the plane?
We all know who that one is.
Never cared about anything, just proved he was the best time and time again.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Oscar 10 reps and Kevin 10 reps. Okay, ignore me.
Let's wait and see if that's official.
It felt like the text came immediately. They've started. Oscar stopped. I was thinking, flip.
10 reps
10
is
reps
good.
Is quite a lot. Oh, I wonder how.
It's really hard.
See these numbers
when
go.
I say it's good, it's really hard to know how good it's going to be, because every Viking press is different.
So Oscar was just really fast, apparently.
Okay. So like,
thank you.
A record on a Viking press can really only stand if it's always the same Viking press used. That's why there's so many, like, I see some competitions where they're always setting Viking press records, but unless you use that same kit again and again, you can't really compare it to a different Viking press.
Loz is disallowing reps from his own wife's demonstration.
Yes, indeed.
So over the top and ridiculous. Liz, professional. What changed overnight? I have had a 3-hour sleep since then. Right. Let's try and get caught up on comments. I don't like it when we get too far behind. Ooh.
So 10 and 10 from the first 2. That's very good.
That's a strong start. We will see. Oh my goodness. Have you seen this?
Wow.
I'm going to just upload a picture. Hold on.
You're allowed to.
Yes. It's of the apparatus. Hold on.
Let's see if they've got it on.
I've got so many cute dog pictures on my phone. Right. Go on, you carry on with the comments, please, Ozzy. Read that one from Brian.
Brian, thank you for the super chat. Top 5 personal picks for putting professional strongmen at a Highlands game style comp. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, certainly it's harder to pick from the newer guys because they've done very little Highland games. I mean, Misha Koklaev was great at Highland game stuff. I think Thor would be really good, just naturally a great thrower and good at the type of events in the Highland games. That's a tough one. I'd have to sort of think about that.
Trey and Eddie are walking out. All right, let me see. Yeah, let's just put ourselves in the corner.
They're huge.
These are the this is the Globe Viking press.
That's cool.
I've
had loads of different things at Worlds, where there can be like a vehicle, all sorts of stuff, logs.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right, let's get that off and back. There we go. Lars, you look like a beast.
I'm training hard. Like, I'm feeling the best I have in a long time. I'm training with some bodybuilders at the moment, and it's been useful for me. I'm not going mega heavy on things. Like yesterday, I deadlifted 250 for sets of 6 fairly comfortably. Every week, I'm feeling a bit stronger, training 5 days a week. The real focus is more controlled movements, trying to get my body as functioning as well as possible. I've been doing a lot of work on my torn Achilles, and that's starting to get stronger. Doing a lot of arm wrestling as well. So just training hard, but just enjoying it. Nothing kind of crazy. David, thank you for the super chat. Is it time for Bobby to beef up once again so his body might hold up better? To be fair, I hadn't looked at the difference in his injury history. No, I don't think so. Bobby's at a decent weight. He's not like small by any means. He just needs to be a bit slick. But Bobby's biggest issue is he has a couple of injuries, like long-lasting injuries that cost him, really. He has like rods in his feet that make flexion very, very difficult. So because he has to adapt through the way he walks, it causes him problems. So anything where you have to try and extend onto your toes, Bobby just can't do. Makes truck pulling very, very hard, can make like even pressing an axle hard, where it's a bit more technical. An axle sits lower, so you kind of really need that more leg drive, whereas a log is a bit higher because of the
they are lifting, Trey and Eddie.
You're a bit higher up, you can rely more on the shoulder and tricep strength. But just Worlds seems to go badly for Bobby. But the other comps, he's doing great.
They are lifting.
Oh, they're lifting.
This
is Eddie and
Trey Mitchell.
So
both looking good, smooth and steady.
Trey is a fantastic presser at his best.
Eddie needs a good performance here to stay in contention.
He needs to beat 10 reps.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he cannot afford to lose a lot of points here. Because if he's going to be in a stone off, he's going to want that advantage over Luke Stoltman. Eddie taking a rest. Eddie read the rules. Very nice. Trey too. Okay. Resting. Hugh will be the next one.
I'll put Hugh up here just so we don't lose him.
Yeah. Come on.
60-second time limit.
It's a 60-second time limit, yeah.
The tension.
I know. Time. It feels like a long 60 seconds, doesn't it?
When you're waiting, when you're waiting, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah. Let's put that there.
So we'll bring you the results ASAP, guys. So 10 reps to beat. Both the first two athletes managed 10 reps.
Kevin and Oscar. Let's see. Let's hear it.
Well, they've got to get the results from the referee.
Oh, yeah.
Got to find out, make sure no reps were taken away.
That's true. Yeah.
We just don't want to bring wrong results. So we're waiting to get it right.
Oh,
Eddie gets 10 as
reps.
well.
That's interesting.
So those three are going to be tied on points.
Yeah. Let's see.
16 reps for Trey.
Okay. Interesting.
Wow.
I wonder how Tristan's Viking press is. We know Luke's good.
Luke's got to just be thinking 11 reps.
Yeah.
11 reps puts him in a fantastic position. And I think, honestly, Tristan will be thinking the same.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to go for 17.
Unless you can, you can do it. There's no point in kind of pushing beyond that.
No.
Because now 11 reps is going to really help Luke and Tristan separate themselves from Eddie.
Yeah. Hugh, thank you for the super chat.
It was important for Eddie to get that 10th, though.
Yeah, definitely.
That showed it again, showing progress.
This super chat must be spent on toys for Holly. Watched you guys for years. Love the work you do. Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you very, very much.
She needs more tug toys, like a little tug of war toy. So there you go.
Thank you very, very much.
I promise it will be spent on her. No double dipping, Liz. I think I demonstrated a lovely double dip. I mean, I think it's a stupid rule, personally.
No, it's a good rule for a Viking press. If you're fast enough, you could dip under it without pressing.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah. Where are we? Where's that? I don't understand where amongst that Viking press the athlete actually stands and lifts.
So it was two separate Viking presses, that picture. So one globe is one Viking press.
Yeah, right in front of the globe is the handles, and they'd be under the handles, and then from there.
It looked like
too massive. Yeah. Like, what the hell is that? Where are we? Canada good at Highland Games. Yeah, Canada have a good history of Highland Games.
Loz is our only hope against Levan. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I have improved a lot, though. My arm wrestling is getting very good. Like me and Mitch had an arm wrestle, and it was like playing with a baby. And that's the thing with arm wrestling. Mitch is clearly much, much stronger than me, but arm wrestling is completely different to strongman.
Maybe I could beat him.
You're actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was joking there.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't beat Mitch.
Trying. Can we please pin the spreadsheet link, Lasse?
I will.
Yeah. Trey with 16, crazy. Los, could you beat Vititis Lalas at arm wrestling?
No, Lalas was a very good arm wrestler. He would beat me easily. I've improved a lot. I haven't competed a lot. I need to do more competitions because just being good in training is not the same as being good in a competition. And I plan on competing. But Lalas was a legitimately high-level arm wrestler. Like, I'm probably good enough to not call myself a novice anymore. But yeah, there's levels to this stuff. Like, the number one British heavyweight trains in my club, and he can see the progress that I'm making. But it's like, you know, I'm not even close to him in level, not even close. Like, he would kick my butt.
So
but
they're there. Sorry, just so you know, the next two.
Likewise, if someone from arm wrestling came to strongman, these guys at World Strongest Man are going to destroy them. Like, if Levin tried to come into strongman, he would get his ass kicked. It's a completely different sport.
Yeah. Yeah, because someone was asking yesterday, weren't they? Do you reckon Brian could beat Levin?
Not even close.
No.
Like, the best arm wrestlers in the world can't beat Levin.
No. Yeah. Someone who doesn't do that sport professionally.
What it would take, like, is someone like a Brian Shaw, but to start at 16, 18, 20 years old.
Yeah. Not
42. Yeah. You know, it's just, if a motivated young Brian Shaw started arm wrestling and did it for 20 years, yeah, that guy's going to be a freak of nature.
They're just about
to start. It's completely different. Just throwing in someone who's already had a successful career and then
something else.
You know, like, Brian could be good. Don't get me wrong. He could be a very good arm wrestler, but that's going to take a number of years just to become a very good arm wrestler. And then to get to, you know, Levin's level is just years away. And I don't think Brian would have the commitment that he's put into 20 years of strongman to then put that into arm wrestling.
Yeah. Someone said, could current Loz beat Levin in strongman?
Yes, I could easily. And that, you know, that's not me being arrogant. It's just a fact. Just like the guy none of you know who's number one in my club could kick my ass at arm wrestling.
Yeah,
it's just a completely
different world, isn't it? So they're just having the last words from the referee. Just some reminders about the rules. Let's see how this goes.
I've just pinned someone's comment that has a link to the Strongman archives.
Cool. Loz has arm wrestled Larry Wheels, haven't you? Obviously not.
I have. I'm much better now, but we were just practicing.
Yeah. Oh, come on. I'm very excited. So this is Tristan Hoth and Luke Stoltman, the final pairing in group number 1. The best we've had so far is Trey Mitchell with 16 reps. And then Eddie Williams, Oscar Zilkowski, and Kevin Ferris all have 10 reps. So there's going to be a big split on points there. They are lifting. And we're off.
This is exciting.
It is exciting.
Both, if they get 11, are going to be very happy.
Yeah.
If either of them can beat Trey,
wow, that would be insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone falls just short of Trey with 15, that will suck. Because all of those extra ones you did.
Yeah.
And potentially for no extra points. But let's see. Excuse me. Very nerve-wracking.
We're waiting for the results.
Yeah, someone said Levin's squat PR was 160. He just doesn't train legs.
We're good friends with Janasha, who's very good friends with.
Oh, Tristan just hit 11. Right, that's not on the referee's count. That's on a friend's count. It's still going. Is he going for that 17? Like, at this point, this is group 1. We don't know what really good looks like.
Let's remember. I mean, we're saying how good Eddie Williams is doing. Tristan is winning this group.
Yeah. And he only got a call up a couple of weeks ago.
That's what I mean by there's so many great athletes out there that we don't know of.
Oh, let's see. They're still going after 11. Was Luke still going?
I'm guessing so.
I just don't know. Oh, my goodness.
Just waiting for the results, guys.
What happened to Larry Wheels in strongman? He kept getting injured.
Yeah, Larry's much more focused on arm wrestling, I think, than strongman. And he's got such strong
biceps. Luke with 10 reps also. That's a surprise. Oh, excuse me. That's made me... Oh, Tristan, 15 reps. What did I say? How much would that suck? He did an extra 5 reps. He could have just done 1.
Could have stopped on 11. Yeah. That's a little bit of inexperience at this level. However, you know... The
Oh,
guy
man.
is absolutely smashing it, and
Incredible.
I think, you know, it's just cool to watch someone give 100%.
And now that is really going to help him still stretch away further, because go back onto now that we've got the results, actually we'll have the points. So he was starting on 16 when time went.
Oof.
He just ran out of time. Oh man.
Wow.
Okay, so
good points for Trey. He's kind of done something to pull himself back into there.
6
And
points.
you're going to have 4 athletes tie on points.
Yeah, so they get
2.5 each
points. Yeah, and Tristan gets 5 points, and Trey gets 6 points. So now, oh my goodness! Right, sorry. So now Tristan Hoth has 20 points. He's in the lead. Behind him, tied on 16.5 points, is Luke Stoltman and Eddie Williams. Then Trey Mitchell has 14 points, so he's pulled himself right back up. And then Kevin Ferris has 11.5. Oscar has 5.5. So just so you guys know, if they're still tied on points after that, like when it comes to the stone off, if second and third are tied, then order will be determined on the result of the last event, which is the car walk.
Wow.
So my goodness.
Wow.
That is interesting results.
I was expecting the top 3 to like keep pulling away, but Trey has given himself a chance.
He has.
I don't think it's the best chance with the last event coming up.
Car walk being the last
and especially
one.
Like the deadlift didn't go to plan, but
No.
he's given himself a chance to get into that stone off, and Trey in a stone off is a big problem for absolutely anyone.
Yeah. We will see.
Tristan, how many points ahead of them is he? 3.5.
Yes, 3.5. No, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tristan Hoth of Canada.
Hoth.
Yeah. He is a beast.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Yeah, really happy he managed to get in. Lovely. So doing some interviews now before group 2. He hasn't had Viking press and training for a while. Wow. And it's not really something he's done much before, Viking press.
If you're strong, you're strong.
Only barely touched it in the lead up to this. There you go. Very impressive.
Yeah. Wow. That was exciting.
Oh, that was exciting. That was tense, man.
Yeah.
Waiting is awful. I hate it. Robin, thank you for the super chat. No question. Just love for this year's best live show on YouTube. Love from Sweden. Thank you so much, Robin. Shocker for Luke. Yeah. Do you know what? I didn't think Luke was going to win the Viking press based off of his recent Viking press results. If we just have a quick
Viking press is not the best overhead.
It's not. He's got much better events overhead. Yeah. So if we just pop it in to the archives and have a look. So he's come 3rd in his group here, obviously tied 3rd. He came 3rd on the Viking press at Europe, but he was beaten by Alexei, which I don't think any of us saw coming. He was 8th out of 11 on the Viking press at the Strongman Classic last year. And and that's it. I'll say the other one is a long time ago, but it's not his best overhead event, is it?
No, it's not.
But yeah, he would have really wanted to be able to. I mean, one more rep would have made him.
We will just check that, but there's no need to
say it.
Yeah.
Right. To be continued.
And just the referees are talking about something, but
but we don't know
what. So I don't want.
We're not going to speculate. No.
You know, it's until things are known for sure.
Yeah.
There's no point in bringing anything up. But yeah, just super impressive, this group.
But
Tristan,
this car walk's going to be exciting. Who do you see winning the car? Like, I don't really know who could win the car walk there. Luke could win it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Tristan win it either. With the way
Eddie's improved, I wouldn't be surprised to see Eddie.
Yeah.
Have we seen Eddie do a car walk or a yoke? We saw him do yoke, Strongman Classic. How did he do on that? Last year.
Who is this? Eddie. So just reading here, apparently Luke was disallowed some reps for not going below his ears with his elbow.
Okay.
Well, when we know more, we will tell you more. Who am I looking at? Eddie Williams car walk. Okay. Let's have a look.
Yoke.
Event. So I know he did a yoke at the Strongman Classic last year. He came 7th. Okay. I remember that well because he was up against Mitch.
You had Mitch and Evan Singleton in that.
Yeah, a couple of
who were really fast.
Tom was in there as well.
Who else did that? Let's just see who he was up against.
Oops.
And what kind of time?
What sort of times they were doing. So the super yoke, Mitch won it with 9.84 seconds. Evan was in 12. Tom was in 12. Pavlo 13, Spencer 14, Luke 14, Eddie 15. Oh, he was only a second behind Luke then. So
could be interesting.
It's possible, yeah. And behind him, Trey was 17 seconds. Oh, and they're in the same group together. And we don't know how Tristan is. Oh my goodness.
And Kevin was there as well.
Oh, Kevin was there. 20 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, how weird.
Kevin's much better at farmers than yoke.
Yeah, he is. Farmers and frame.
Yeah.
He'd take any day over yoke. Be hard to tie a car walk. No, that's a very good point, Jonathan. And I knew it as I was saying it. But for any other groups where they could end up in a tie on points, that would be what happens.
Yeah.
Yes, there is still 6 points when someone has withdrawn.
Yeah, basically it just stays
it goes from
at
the
6.
top down, doesn't it?
And yeah, if you come last in the heat now, the worst you can do is 5th. So you still get 2 points.
Yeah.
Unless you cannot lift the object. So if you can't actually lift something, then they usually give you 0 points. So as long as someone can lift the car up and carry it a couple of steps, if in a group where an athlete's pulled out, they're going to get 2 points.
Yeah. Janik, thank you for or is it Yannick? Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, Yannick.
Oh.
Leonidas Arcona.
Okay. Just beat Schoolboy in arm wrestling, thank you, at East versus West. And he was a power lifter and now trained arm wrestling for about 2 years.
He's an absolute beast. He is just someone naturally talented at arm wrestling. And he looks like he's taking it very, very seriously. Yeah, he's doing very, very well.
Any other unknown Canadians in the chat line to go to Worlds next year? Wow, it goes to show the level of
There's some good Canadians
strongman
out there. There really is.
They have tough competitions in Canada as well. Like the competitions JF puts on are really hard, aren't they? Lots of events, very, very heavy. Just starting Group 2. Apparently, let's have a look.
It's amazing to think there has only been one winner from Canada with the talent they've had in the past.
Yeah, no, it's true. Few that, I mean, JF got on the podium, didn't he? Was Hugo Schrader ever on the podium?
I think he was 4th.
Yeah, Hugo, it just wasn't his best competition, was
Dominic Fillier was 3rd.
Yes, yeah.
Tom McGee, 2nd.
Yeah. There was a tie on Buspool last year, so never say never. That's true. And there was a exact tie on Atlas Stones 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Do you think that Tristan would have got the 16th rep if he had time? I mean, we don't know.
So we didn't see, so yeah. Really can't say.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, is that Monica? If he had time, yes, I think he would. Oh, so Monica's there watching in person, and she said she thinks he would have locked it out if he had time.
Okay, so she saw that, and yeah, there you go. It's rare that someone runs out of time on an event like that.
Yeah. So, I wonder, did he take a rest at any point?
Yeah, because that would make more sense. Well.
Yeah, because you don't want to be under tension that whole time, do you? And then,
well, it's just very hard to be.
Yeah, still be going when the whistle blows.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good Canadians. Frederick Graham, he just came 2nd at SCL Hungary.
Yes, yeah. And that was the competition that Adam, who is in group, where is Adam? Group 5. He just won it at the weekend. No, he's in group 5 with Tom.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Will Mitch be in strongman long enough to possibly become the GOAT?
Depends if he can stay interested in it long enough. At the moment, he kind of definitely wants to stay in strongman and keep enjoying it. Injuries can be a factor. Let's look at Novikov and Kiliashkovsky, both incredible athletes, but both struggling right now because of injuries. And strongman is tough to avoid injuries.
Oh, 1 rep added to Luke and Kevin. That's interesting. Right, hold on. Let's go back to the drawing board.
All right. This is the worst thing about not seeing what's happening.
Yeah.
Because then people start speculating on things. So, let's not kind of go too deep into it until we kind of see what happens.
Okay.
But yeah, this is when I don't like things.
Yeah.
Because this is when the internet goes crazy.
Yeah, and it all gets a bit silly sometimes, doesn't it, with speculation. We'll wait and see. Okay. That's interesting, though.
That is interesting.
A couple of super chats in here. Oh, I can't click. There we go. Brandon, thank you. Loz, do refs advise why reps were missed?
Yes, they should do.
Yeah.
And you can certainly ask a referee afterwards.
Yeah.
You should never be scared to ask why a rep wasn't given. Normally, like I've, for instance, when we were in Estonia and I was refereeing Ivers and Rauno's deadlift, Ivers had pulled a lift, but his knees weren't locked out, and I wouldn't give him the lift. And I was like shouting at him, knees need to be locked out, knees locked out.
Knees.
And then he's like, oh yeah. And then he kind of locked his knees out. So as a referee, I think it's good to make sure you give the athlete the instruction of why you haven't given the rep yet.
Yeah.
I've seen Zadrunas do that before. You know, it's important. I mean, the athlete should know what to do, but if they're just looking at you with puppy dog eyes or why haven't you given me the rep, tell them why.
Okay. So apparently they were given a warning on a rep, both of them.
Yeah.
But somewhere in there, the warning rep was accidentally not counted instead of just the one after the warning rep.
Oh, okay.
So the warning rep was mistakenly taken off of their total.
Okay.
There we go. So let's see if it officially updates, because obviously there's the World's Strongest Man spreadsheet on the website with their results. But we'll see. Interesting. Piffed, thank you for the super chat. Do you feel static high weight competitions, sure, or more mixed lower weight, more aerobic events, World's Strongest Man better shows the strongest in the world? I wouldn't call World's Strongest Man aerobic.
I think people have got this a bit misinformed of thinking like World's Strongest Man's light and the Shaw's heavy, like, or the Arnold is heavy. Like, they're all pretty similar in terms of weights these days. There's not that much difference in terms of weights that are used. We've seen stupidly heavy weights at World's Strongest Man before. We've seen stupidly heavy weights at the Arnolds. I think all competitions are trying to get that balance. If you think World's Strongest Man is 12 events, it's not 6 events because there's the heats as well. So it's 12 events, very, very brutal. 8 events at the Shore Classic. I really like the 8 event kind of format. I think it's very, very good, especially with everyone doing it. I like that format very much. And I think Brian does a great job with what he does. But I don't get into the, this is the way it should be. This isn't the way it should be in terms of the show. You know, obviously doing more events, I think, is a better indication of who the absolute best is, because you have to be good at everything. You can't hide away from a weakness. If you look at sports like darts or snooker or even like tennis, in a Grand Slam, they play more sets. They may play more legs in snooker, more in darts, etc., to decide the champion over that longer period of time. Because with 5 events, for instance, in a one-day competition, you can have 5 really good events that suit you. Whereas over a prolonged competition where you've got 8 or 12 or 10, I think the best guy, even with one bad event, can catch up.
Yeah.
And the guys that maybe are really good at those 5 events that might be in one competition, they might not have another 5 events that are really good. So I think to find out the absolute best, you do need more events. But the Shore Classic is a good, solid competition, very heavy, very hard. But don't sort of confuse and think the World's is light as well. We kind of proved that myth before just by comparing over the years what the weights are in different competitions.
Yeah, we've tracked the weights in strongman, but also the fact that a lot of the guys aren't finishing things and not hitting as many reps as people were expecting them to. It goes to show it is hard and it is heavy. But just to interrupt you, the scores have been corrected.
So what is the official scores now for Group 1?
So now the official scores, Tristan Hope is still leading with 20 points. Luke and Eddie are no longer tied. Luke is ahead. He's got 17.5 points. Eddie has 15.5 points. Trey has 14.
So this has actually worked out really well for Trey, not so good for Eddie.
It's bad for Eddie, and good for Trey.
Trey has closed that gap. He's only now a point and a half behind.
Yeah, and it's obviously worked out good for Luke, who is now 2 points ahead of Eddie. So it puts even more pressure on the car.
There's a lot of pressure on Trey, Eddie, and Luke, because all 3 of them pretty much look set to be fighting for a stone off. Yeah. Tristan looks in a good position to win the group.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't have a turkey of an event on the car walk, he should be okay.
Yeah.
Camby's coming out. So obviously he's going alone in group number 2 because Gav has sadly pulled out of the competition. Yeah. So in this event, it's going to be Nick Canby first on his own. Then it will be Spencer Remick with Austin Andrade. Then it will be Andre Foitu and Mitchell Hooper. Some interesting and exciting matches there.
Johnny says, how about ban Viking Press from World's Strongest Man and just go with Log for Reps or Flintstone or whatever? What's your reason for banning Viking Press?
Probably the
just
refereeing.
the refereeing. I don't think there's anything wrong with a Viking Press in terms of an event, but yeah, I'd like to sort of know your reasoning. Obviously, we know about what happened with 4 on there, and obviously there's some discretion with what's going on here, but that could happen on a log. It could happen on a Viking.
It often happens on a dumbbell.
Dumbbell is probably the most
the
controversial event that we see bad calls for. So, is it the event itself or is it the refereeing that you're kind of looking at there? And like I said, we're not seeing what's going on. So and that's why I hate that World's Strongest Man do not stream.
Yeah,
because
we're
all getting into uproar about something we don't even know what's happened.
Yeah, and so Thor's Hammer. Anyone who's joining late, why was Luke given an 11th rep? Luke and Kevin, was it Kevin?
Yeah.
Yes, were given an 11th rep because what should have been a warning on 1 rep to say, make sure you're bringing it, your elbow down to your ear.
Had been a rep taken away.
The rep was mistakenly taken away when it should have just been a warning. So it's been contested. It's been reviewed.
And like I said, this is where it's really important that athletes and referees are all understanding the rules and why I bang on about rules.
Yeah, and rule books.
Yeah.
Scotty Lace, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Luke will go all out in the car walk to avoid the stone off, despite how good he is at stones? He will 100% go all out in the car walk because the longer you are under a car, the worse it's going to be going forward.
Car walk's one of those events.
You have to get it done.
It's not really an event you want to just cruise on.
You can't.
It's actually worse to go slow than it is to go fast. So just get it done as quick as possible. It's not like a deadlift where you can kind of conserve energy. You just have to get it done, and the quicker you get it done, the better.
Yeah.
Also, he wants to, at worst, secure second place in the group. So, he needs to make sure he is going in having that advantage on the stones to make the stones a little bit easier.
So I'm saying Trey's not that good at yoke, and it must be even worse now with the Achilles. No, but you never know. Other people
I agree
can make
with
mistakes.
you. I agree 100%. And I'm sure the Achilles is going to be playing on his mind when he gets, under that car. But that being said, it's not the greatest group of athletes when it comes to the car walk either. So, he's going to keep fighting for sure.
Yeah, it's quite a close group, but there's none of the standout good car walkers in there like Evan or Mitch. Although we don't know with Tristan, maybe he turns out to be one of them. He's surprised us already, hasn't he? So we'll see. Dave here saying that Tristan is solid in yoke style events. I have no reason to doubt that after seeing him, seeing everything else he's done. Yeah, Johnny's saying the reffing that puts him off the Viking press.
Yeah, and I get that. But like I said, without us seeing what's going on, it's a real hard call there. It sounds like it's just a genuine confusion on someone that's kind of tracking the reps.
Sorry, Canby did 13 reps.
Nice.
Very nice by Nick Canby. Sorry, we got we forgot ourselves a little bit there.
That's really good.
That's great. Lovely result.
Canby's overhead is very strong.
Yeah.
Was it 190 kilo axle he did as an under 105?
Yeah, he did. World record.
He's got a good Olympic lifting background as well, but strong triceps and shoulders as well.
He's set a great mark there for people to have to follow. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Imaginary fun time. You get to build your ultimate world's strongest man, including athletes from any period at their peaks. Who would you pick? What events? And what do you think would be the outcome? This is a really long question for a live stream. Oh man, I would put in every single winner of the world's strongest man, plus the best ones not to win: Derek Poundstone, Mateusz Kiliashkowski, who else? Riku Kiri, Hugo Girard, Lozzie, Terry. There you go. I'd get to 30 that way.
Interesting.
That's a great competition.
I'd actually take out a couple of winners.
Ted van der Paar.
I'm not going to name names.
I know who you take out there. I can expose you. What events would we have? Andrade
all
and
my best
Spencer
events.
Remick. Yeah, so they'd be doing
I'd want it favoured to me.
Yoke, farmers, stonewalk, Viking press facing inwards.
Axel, when I was good at it.
Axel, when Loz was good at it. And Sojournus will win. They're getting set. Because that was just the way the cookie crumbled, wasn't it? Thank you for explaining about the reffing issue.
You know what would be interesting is like everyone at their absolute peak against each other.
They're getting
like
set.
the top few guys, but at their best.
Yeah.
Like a Thor at his best against a Brian at his best against a Zadrunas, Tom, Mitch.
Ooh, Rod, thank you for the super chat. May the best athlete win. He who enters the ring shall not shy away from the battle.
Indeed.
They're there now. They've got to give it everything on every event.
It's all about being the man in the arena.
Let's go see. Michael Scott, not from the office. They are lifting. Forgot to hit send. Coach, the 10x1 log press kicked my ass. 10.
Michael, you're doing awesome, buddy. You're doing absolutely awesome. So Michael starting strongman later on in life, and he is absolutely smashing his training.
So this is Austin and Spencer, who are currently lifting. We know Spencer's good at this. They're both resting, by the sounds of it. They've got 13 reps to beat, though, set by Nick Cambo.
It's a really good target.
Yeah. Nick did well on this at Europe's Strongest Man. Time. Let's see.
We wait for the results. So who was that? That was Spencer and
Austin. And then last up will be Mitch and Andre. Resting. Okay. Kane still believes in Ed. Eddie Williams had such a great competition. Hopefully, I would like to see him in the stone off at least.
Yeah, he's certainly. I don't ever say someone deserves to be, but he's clearly put the work in. And the three that, well, the one that qualifies and the two that end up in the stone off will deserve to be there.
Yeah. Beesmas, thank you for the super
12
chat.
for Austin.
Ooh,
13 for Spencer.
Tied with Nick. That's a great result by Spencer there. He is
great
good
group
at this event.
Yes, he is.
At the very top level like this, are warnings really warranted? Shouldn't it be as simple as you get the rep or you didn't?
Perhaps, the warning thing I'm saying is if an athlete's kind of waiting for that down signal, I think sometimes it's good to just kind of remind them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I think what's hard with strongman though is that every single piece of equipment is different. So it's not like powerlifting where it's standardized and they just know what good is or isn't. Like it's going to feel different in the hands. Like the pivot points can be different.
I think it's an important factor to understand. You go to strongman comp. I've seen amazing powerlifters struggle on a strongman deadlift or a squat because they're not on a power bar or a squat bar or a deadlift bar on a perfect platform in a monolift with Alico plates. You could be using an axle on a slanted ground, outside, and it can completely throw off the people that are so well trained in a certain movement in perfect conditions. So strongman, because you do have that variation of the elements that you're competing with and the equipment that you're competing with changes so often, it is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I always say, like, strongmen are the strongest men on the planet. Powerlifters, extremely strong, but they are the difference between training a powerlifter. I train both powerlifting and strongman. A powerlifter needs to be exceptionally talented in 3 movements. So you've got to be highly skilled in the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. That's it. You don't need to have endurance. You don't need to have, the ability to adapt too much. You just need to be highly skilled in those 3 movements. Whereas a strongman, I tend to get strong men focusing a lot more on squat for reps. They need strong legs with endurance, for pulling trucks, for carrying awkward objects. For squat, it's usually going to be repetitions in strongman. It's very rare you get a squat for max, so you don't have to put that same emphasis in terms of technical proficiency in that one event because you've got 50 events to prepare for.
Yeah.
So you might not, if I'm training you for squats, I might not be getting too anal about it being a perfect, powerlifting style squat. We're just trying to make sure that your legs are getting stronger. So it's just understanding those sort of differences is important when understanding your sport.
We're up to date with comments.
Okay, very good. Right, reset time, and then we will have the last 2 from this group. 3D Strength is in the house. My personal opinion, Z is the all-time GOAT, but Prime, Europe's, World's, Arnold's, and big powerlifting total. Thor is the strongest Prime athlete ever. There we go. I would probably agree with that as well. Sai says, Loz, any advice for someone starting strongman training in their 40s for general strength and well-being? Seems most people go for CrossFit route, but it doesn't appeal as a big guy. Strongman can be a great sport for anyone to do. You do not have to be a competitor to do strongman. It can be great for improving your general health and fitness. It can be great for helping joints and structural imbalances through your body. And, you know, people kind of laugh when I say that because you look at a lot of strongmen and they're injured, but there's a big difference between being a high-level professional athlete trying to win titles and break world records as there is to someone that just enjoys training certain movements. I've trained middle-aged women doing strongman events that just like to get in better shape, and it's fun. And you just have to be wary of the load that you're putting yourself under, especially in your 40s. You don't want to be kind of trying to push 1 rep maxes all the time. I would keep reps a little bit lower in your 40s, particularly starting out, but not working up to sort of 1 rep maxes. Just focus on sets of 5, sets of 3 with good form, and then do like a light back off set just to get blood flow into the body, build up your work capacity over time. So maybe start, if all you can commit to is 2 days a week in the gym, start with that. Maybe then try and get to 3. Maybe eventually you can you get 4 sessions in. You have to condition your body to it. I would focus on controlled movements as well, trying to make sure that your balance between your muscle groups is as even as possible. And have fun with it. That's the key. If you enjoy training, you're going to keep doing it.
What was my little friend? Oh, hold on, let me turn it. Let me mute you.
Yeah, they'll have to mute you.
Yeah, there we go.
What do you think of Vidas Blakaitis as a strongman? The guy was an absolute beast. Very, very strong. I mean, anyone that's good in Lithuania is world class, because for a long time they were just coming second to Zadrunas, who was the best in the world. But yeah, he's an absolute beast. Very strong overhead. He was lightning at things like yokes. Absolute beast.
Can you mute it at your end, please? Oh.
There you go.
Oh, no, it's not mute. Can you mute it, please? Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. So this is Mitch and Andre Foytu. Right, so they're just getting under 1 rep each. 2 for Mitch, 3 for Mitch, 3 for Andre, 4 for Mitch. All right, I can't count this. No, this is a nightmare. Okay, but they're both going really steady. I think Mitch is ahead of Andre. That's Mitch furthest away, isn't it? That's Mitch. That's Andre. Yeah, I can see Andre's little ponytail.
Andre is very good at Viking press. Yeah. I'm expecting big points from him there. Both of them looking smooth.
Yeah. Mitch has stopped, put his hand up, waving. He's done. He's now clapping for Andre, who is having a little rest. Is Andre done? Yeah, they're hugging each other. I think
they're both pretty happy.
There we go. Mitch stopped.
We'll find out how many reps they've got. As soon as we know officially, I'll let you guys know.
I'll let you go. Thank you. And there we go.
All right. Where were we? Some people in the comments saying this is why powerlifting is boring. I enjoy powerlifting, but I'm certainly more strongman than powerlifting.
Yeah. Which country has the highest number of different World's Strongest Man winners? I think that's still the USA.
42 did 15.
Oh, very nice. And Mitch did 14.
Nice.
So
that both puts
them
first and second
in their group. Yeah. Very nice. So it's not been updated on the spreadsheet just yet. We'll wait a second. So that was 2 tied on 13, Spencer and Nick. Austin actually coming in last with 12 reps, which obviously would have got him.
So Spencer, how many did Spencer do?
13.
Okay, so even 13 only gets him 4 points.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
It's a good
strong
group of
overhead
Viking
group.
presses.
And this is what we see. Like Group 1 was really good at the whatchamacallit?
Yeah.
the Stonewall.
It makes me laugh. I'm going to stick up for Mitch here because he did 14 and stopped. Like it looked like he had plenty more in him.
Yeah.
He's clearly just doing enough to get to the final. The amount of people with him split jerking an axle saying, oh, you haven't got any strong shoulders or triceps. Believe me, he worked hard on his shoulder and tricep strength over the winter. He's looking in a good place.
There we go. Right, so it's been populated then. So Andre won that event with 15 reps. Mitch got 14 reps. Spencer and Nick Canby tied on 13. and Austin got 12 reps. So that means Mitch now has 22.5 points going into the car walk. Andre has 20.5. Wow, then it's 15 for Austin. So big gap between Austin and Andre. Spencer Remick, 10.5.
Spencer can't catch him.
No, it's...
You can't catch him.
No, he can't because Gav's out.
So,
that means...
Right now, you've got Austin Andrade on 15 points.
Yeah.
So, not Oscar. Andre is on 20.5.
Yeah. So Austin
can't catch Andre, but Spencer can't catch Austin.
So those three could not do the car walk. The top three could not do it, and nothing would change. Wow.
Mitch, I mean, to be fair, Mitch is only 2.5 points ahead of, 2 points ahead of Andre.
Yeah.
I think Mitch will do enough to win the group on the car walk.
Yeah. Because like we said, it's not an event where going steady makes any sense because you're under the car for longer. So,
interesting.
Very interesting.
So it's kind of what we thought would happen in this group.
We
said beforehand that Andre would come second in the group,
but Austin would beat him on the stones.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong because Andre has such a lead over Austin. It's 4.5 points.
He's done amazing.
Yeah.
And it's just showing what a great talent he is at 22 years old.
Yeah, youngest man in the competition. Oh, man, that would be heartbreak if he doesn't get through. And honestly, I'll be even madder at the stone off, if possible. Cousin Fred, thank you for the super chats.
I just want to make sure we
not for the super chats, for gifting the memberships, for the super chats. I will always have a soft spot for Jean-Paul and Big Kaz. Yeah, they were great characters in the early days of Strongman. Rod, thank you so much for the super chat. Loz, I feel you're one of the best, if not the best, strongman analysts in the area. Me, Tor, or Mitch, and helping people in general. Amazing work. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rod. Thank you.
We got the
really
message.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. And World's Strongest Blacksmith, thank you. You think Shaw could be convinced to do a powerlifting meet?
No. I don't think he's interested
got any passion for powerlifting.
I think there's a lot more chance of him doing arm wrestling than powerlifting. I've never really seen him show that much. He talked about like a road to 700-pound bench, was it, or something, and that never materialized to anything.
Yeah.
But I think we will see Shaw do some competitive arm wrestling. He does seem to be interested in it. I don't think he's going to beat Levon. I do think he can get to a decent standard, though.
No handstand. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for making this comp worth watching. In your opinion, best multi-sport strength athlete: Mark Henry, Kaz, Mikhail Kuklayev, etc. Someone who crossed over into different sports.
I'd chuck those three are great examples. I would put someone like Gary Taylor in there. Gary Taylor was an Olympic weightlifter. He was a bodybuilder and world's strongest man.
I would put Jean-Paul in there because he won bodybuilding competitions in the same years that he won the world's strongest man, and he would cut down to like 105 kilos to get on the stage. That's insane.
Great athlete. There's a lot of athletes that have come from other sports. You know, you look at like Thor and Brian. They were both good basketball players when they started. There's been a lot of good rugby players get into strongman. Normally, talented athletes can make it in a number of sports. It just depends what they decide to really invest that time and focus on.
How? Thinking it's really dumb doing the stone off when there's such a huge gap in points between second and third place.
Just to make it clear,
I agree.
Liz and me do not like the stone off.
No. And
we would much rather see 6 events done properly, top 2 go through. But it is what it is.
This is giving me 2019 vibes, Trey versus Alexei. I know it hasn't happened yet, but I am worried. Very.
Last year, everyone that was in second place actually won the stone off. So it didn't affect anything.
But everyone in second place was a good stone lifter as well.
Yeah.
We'll keep the faith. Stone off is garbage. The JBS family, we concur. What's Austin's stone lifting like versus Andre? He's won it twice in competition.
He's a good stone lifter. And, you know, if you go based off what his training's been going, like, he's very good. However, training is different to competition. And the last time we saw him at Giants Live, he wasn't so good at the stones. However, Giants Live shows are extremely fast-paced. And at your first one, you can just be knackered by the time it gets to that event.
Yeah, just be burnt out.
Likewise, excuse me, Austin, Andre is not, in terms of results that we've seen, Stones have not been his best event. He's an extremely good Viking presser, stone walker, getting better all the time, everything, but we haven't seen great stone performances from him so far.
Patrick, 831 likes. Smash the button. Thank you, Patrick.
Yes, guys, please go like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Should we see where our subscribers are?
Why are Better Leisure Centres calling me? Go away. Leave me alone.
We have 152,717 subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 153,000. That would be pretty cool.
It'd be very nice.
So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And like the video. With my little thumbs. Look at that little pathetic thing.
It's sad.
I
don't know. Just the whole situation, everything that's going on. So we're having interviews before going into group 3. So a quick reminder of who's in group 3 and what order they're going to be going in. So first up, we're going to have Thomas Evans versus Ivor Schmuxlis. Then it's going to be Rob Kearney versus Paro Dwyer. And then the final heat will be Adam Bishop and Matt Ragg. So this is a really important event for Adam. He wants to maintain that lead and not end up in the stone off. And he's great at car walk, but this is the question mark event for him, I feel.
Yes, yeah. He needs to hold on to some points here. Doesn't need to win it, just needs to keep himself in contention.
What do you think of Mitch doing MMA? So blagger?
He's not.
He's not. No. No.
Look, just so you guys know, a lot of influencers, shall we call them? We'll call Mitch an influencer, and there's others that do strongman. They do things for content, not necessarily that they're going to be really focusing on something. So don't always believe what they say.
3D strength. I'll say it again. Replace the stone off with a hot dog eating contest. Do you know what? I reckon I could win that.
What's that girl that is it Leah?
Oh, I know the one you mean. Eddie did a collab with her.
She's just downing hot dogs.
Oh, I'm not like that.
Have you seen that video?
No, but I've seen someone else do it before with the dogs. Where are I? Oh wait. April, is that? Thank you for the super chat. Highlight of the Strongman calendar following your vlogs for World's Strongest Man. Been watching since you started doing them. Great commentary and even better banter.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks. Where are we? We're only an hour and 40 minutes into the stream, so we're feeling quite chipper.
Yeah, we're good. We're good today, aren't we?
I'm really hoping today finishes quite timely and we can all just have some nicer breaks in between, because yesterday was very manic, wasn't it?
Yesterday was a bit crazy.
Yeah, the stone off is starting later today than the final event did yesterday, and being only 2 athletes going out for each group, it should be much quicker as well.
Do you know how to do polls on here? Can we do polls?
On this?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
There's me just coming up with a random idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we can.
All right, don't worry about it.
Chris, thank you for becoming a member. Why would Austin ever run the car walk? Save it for the stones. I mean, he has that.
That's an option now.
Yeah.
That is a legitimate option that he could, maybe use. And maybe if I was out there and I was his coach, I would kind of consider that. I wouldn't say don't do it at all because you get 0 points, but I'd be like, all right, pick it up, go a few steps. That's 2 points guaranteed. Because Gav has pulled out of this group,
he'll get 2 points just for picking it up and moving it.
So that would put him on, sorry, can you get the points up?
So that would put Austin on 17 points.
So even if Spencer won, he could only be on a maximum of 16.5.
Yeah.
So that's all he needs to do to guarantee that 3rd place.
Yeah.
He can't win the event. That would be, if I was competing,
that's what
I would probably do that.
Yeah.
But if it was my first Worlds, I probably wouldn't, because I'd be thinking, I want to show people I'm good at something.
Yeah.
Whereas as I became more experienced, I'd be like, I don't care if people think I'm good at this or not. I want to get to the final.
Maybe though, this is what athletes need to start doing for them to scrap the stone off and to rethink the format, because they do it so people won't coach and won't do
this.
This
is the thing with the stone off. They do it so people have to try till the end. But
it doesn't always work.
Sometimes it actually just means they don't try an event earlier.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it should be just battle it till the end. If they had to do car walk and they had to all do stones, then you're still on for a great competition, and you could add Spencer into the battle still to make the final.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas by not doing that,
Spencer's already out of the competition. Why should he do car walk?
And this happened to me in 2017.
Yeah.
where my group was really tight between 4 of us. I think we had Thor, had Marius. Was it Marius Lalas?
Yeah, it was. It was a half a point between
Yeah.
3 of you or something like that.
Belsack and someone else. Oh no, it was me. I was the other person.
Yeah.
And there was like 1.5 points between all of us.
Yeah.
And I missed out going onto the stones. And honestly, you know, Marius and Belsack are not the greatest stone lifters in the world, so I would have had a chance still. Obviously, Thor, completely different level, but he won the group. So between the 3 of us, you got like a point, and it just makes for a boring finish. I think you could have had a really exciting finish between 4 athletes.
Leah is beast.
She is.
Did Hooper stop or did he max out? He stopped. So he reached 14 first. He clearly had 14 in his head. Make sure he got second place on that. He didn't want to fight Andre for first. Andre kept going. Andre went until the very end by the looks of it, because he was slower than Mitch. But we saw that at Europe's. He was up against Luke. Luke went really fast.
He might have been able to keep going. I don't know if he maxed out or not, but
when the whistle
15 was enough.
Yeah. Just waiting on the whistle now for Ivor Schmutzers and Thomas Evans, which will be the first.
So Ivers needs a big performance here.
He does, yes. Fingers crossed for Ivers. I think he was tied for 3rd at Europe's Strongest Man, so he's decent at this event.
Yeah.
We'll see how it holds up. I'm not sure what to expect from Thomas Evans here. They are lifting. Come on, Ivers.
Both of them need a big old performance.
Yeah, I've got them in order of
where they're
going to go out rather than overall points. Very nerve-wracking time for us all, as Ivers fans.
The Canadian Zeus says, yes, we can do polls. Well, Liz will figure it out, or you can tell me.
Yeah.
Actually, I think on here I can do polls.
There you go.
Tell me when something happens.
I will. They're both looking steady. Come on, Ivers. The tension.
The tension is killing us.
I know, the silence. Both done. Just waiting to hear the numbers. So this is the first pairing in group number 3. Adam Bishop is going to be hoping that he doesn't have to push himself to the absolute max here to retain that.
I think Adam is
first place.
Probably in his head is thinking, I'm going to have to push myself to the max here.
Yeah. Yeah, but it would be
this
nice
group isn't one of the groups that can sort of coast at the moment. They've got to keep trying.
They have, because he's only 2 points ahead of Matt Ragg.
14 for Ivers, putting the pressure on.
Well done, Ivers. And drum roll for Thomas Evans. 17.
Wow, that's the most we've seen out of anyone. 17
goodness.
Reps.
Is that a typo? Should it have been 7 or is that
no? He's a strong presser. He's done very well on overhead events.
Yeah, we've seen at the Arnold's with him.
Yeah. 17 reps for Thomas Evans. This is not good for Adam.
Yeah, no, it's not. He's going to be like
14 in the last group was second place.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
How many was
14? Mitch got 14, and that was second place. It would have been
Traded 16.
3rd place in group number 1 because Traded 16 and Tristan did 15, and then after that it was Kevin and Luke with 11.
So Thomas Evans
17, very nice.
Good to see.
Ooh. So they have done double points before on the stones. They did it in 2015 and 16. Everyone had to go still on the Atlas stones in the group stages, and they were worth double points. I mean, I guess it's better in a way, but you've still got that emphasis where one event is worth twice as much as any other, and that's more what we don't agree with than anything else, isn't it?
Rob and Pa are getting themselves ready.
Okay. I think Pa will be a bit nervous here as well because Viking press isn't his favorite overhead event. He's one of those sort of more jerk style lifters, really suits a dumbbell, an axle, that kind of thing. Oh, we're a bit far behind. Let's try and catch up.
Yeah.
3D strength, absolutely not. Go out on your shield. I wouldn't.
What's he referring to?
I thought maybe they were still talking about, like, why would Austin do the car walk at this point in that group when he can't advance any further than third place and he can't drop off of.
I might be wrong, but
third.
I don't think that's what he's responding to. But
let us know.
Because absolutely go out on your shield if, like, you know, it's a competition, everyone's got to do every event. But at the moment, he gets no benefit from. He's going to have to work as hard as he can on the stands, and he could, you know, he can potentially beat Andre on stones. So he's going to have to dig deep on that one.
Robin, thank you for the super chat. So that small shark you got, presumably the dog, who decided that?
It was kind of a combined decision, wasn't it?
You've wanted a dog for a really long time, haven't you? And we decided, like, we knew we would get one at some point, but it's just getting the timing right with
There's no right timing, is there?
No, there isn't. No, raising a puppy. So very much a joint decision. No regrets at all. We love her. She's still asleep under my chair. She's a good girl. Smoke a cig for Ivers. We're with you in spirit, Ivers.
Is it possible for Mitch to come second in the group? Yes, it is. He's only 2 points ahead of Andre so far, but he is very good at yokes, car walks.
Yeah.
And
he's only
barring a big mistake or an injury, I can't see him not winning the group.
No, he's only actually done it in competition once ever, which was his first Worlds, but he did win it in his group. I think he was at about 11 seconds.
He's never lost the yoke.
No, he hasn't. What are we saying? Does Rauno do his cough before every event or only deadlift? No, every event.
It usually starts as he's entering his way to the venue. Yeah.
Sometimes at lunch.
Depends how quickly the nerves kick in.
Yeah. And for lunch, he can't really eat anything. He usually will eat something water-based like cucumber. That is what Rauno will eat before the Deadlift World Championships. Some cucumber with salt. And then he'll go and pull 476 kilos. All while coughing and hacking up our furball. Right, so Rob and Pa are walking out.
I'm going to let your boy in.
Oh, that's my son.
Back from school.
God, doesn't time fly when we're having fun?
Yeah, good point there. Thomas Evans won the log in the qualifier last year. He's very, very good overhead. TV intros, and then they go. Thank you, DJ, for this. I'll pay a bit more attention to that in a bit. Right, we've got, I think it's Pa and Rob coming out. You can see that a world's strongest man, things take a bit of time to get going. Hopefully very soon we have the results. Absolutely. I think 100% tray is dangerous. Very, very dangerous. So they are lifting. They're lifting.
Who's lifting? Pa and Rob.
Pa and Rob.
Sorry, I had to let the boy in.
I think he's allowed in.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
Yeah. And we got a day off, so we can spend some time with him.
Yeah. Is the view any better on the Listen I'm Funny Okay Atron today? Dalton. Oh, man. That thing will never not be funny. How heavy is the Viking press event in hand? It's 150 kilos. Look, wow, that's the weight of the,
That means nothing.
Ben Joyce, wish my land shark was asleep. They get sleepier, I think. How's this?
I found if we tried to stimulate her too much, it was worse. She'd get sort of a bit worked up. So it's good to just let her sleep a bit more.
They need like 18 to 20 hours of sleep a day. So let them just encourage sleep. So time, we're just waiting to see the reps for Rob and Pa.
Yeah, absolutely agree with 3D on this one now. If you get into the stone off, you try absolutely till the end.
Oh, they're going to have to fix a globe before the next two. The equipment isn't holding up so well, and Evan's not even touched it yet, so we'll see. Roger with the members comment, replace stone off with power stair, points equals head start. Oh yeah, that would be an interesting way to do it, like on the eliminator.
I know they think of all these things, but I still think they're crap. Let's just have 6 events.
I know. I agree with you.
Have all the athletes battle it out as hard as they can. Let's remember the standard now is way better than it used to be in every single group.
Yes.
And let's see who the top 2 guys are after 6 events.
And this is the thing. It was introduced.
Get rid of the groups completely.
It was because there was still quite a big swing in the depth of talent. And a lot of that was because they were inviting random people from random countries for no particular reason, it seemed. So the best guys were able to really stretch ahead. So they were like, well, how can we make it a closer competition or make them work the whole way? You don't really have that problem anymore when all 30 guys are really, really good. So we don't need
So, results.
Yes, sorry.
7 for Par, 11 for Rob.
Okay, yeah. Wasn't sure how Rob would do. Obviously, Par we've seen do Viking press quite a few times, so know what to expect there. And we knew it wasn't going to be his best overhead. So far then in this group, we've got Par on 7 reps, Rob Kearney on 11, Ivers on 14, Thomas Evans on 17. Wow.
So Bish has to be looking at that and thinking I've got a chance of certainly beating 7 and, maybe 11 as well.
Potentially 11, yeah. I mean, if he did 11... and Matt did more than him, he'd be on joint 4th, which he doesn't want.
No.
Because then it puts a lot of pressure on him for the car walk because no one wants to do a stone off if they don't have to. No. We will see. Can you see if there's...
I can't.
No, did you look for it?
I can't get back any further on this.
We've tried to... We'll keep an eye out for you.
Let's come down a bit and see if we can get caught up a little.
Okay.
Lots of people impressed with Thomas Evans, and rightly so. He's not had the best competition. We haven't talked much about him, and that's not because we don't think Thomas is great. It's just these events never look the best for him. But good to see him really smash an event in the Viking press.
Yeah. Stop staring the
I'll just do it.
Mike, thank you for the super chat. Mandatory puts question from me. How do you think he would do this year in his prime?
Marius was an amazing strongman. There's no question about that. People often go, oh, why is Marius overlooked? And you always say Brian and Zydrunas are the GOATs. Marius, in my opinion, is one of the top 5 of all time. He's a fantastic strongman, extremely fit, very well conditioned. Where he lacked compared to some of the other guys was top-end strength. He wasn't the most powerful. Like his best performance ever at the Arnolds, I believe, was 4th. An amazing strongman, but particularly amazing at World's Strongest Man or one-day shows.
Yeah.
The sport is, in terms of opposition, it's progressed because let's remember Marius won a few of his titles when there was a split in the sport. So the likes of Zydrunas, Vasil Verastiuk, Derek Poundstone before he kind of came back, a number of other elite level at that time were competing in IFSA, and World's Strongest Man kind of filled in the 2005 World's Strongest Man with much lower level opposition. We did get some good stars come out from that, such as Jesse Morunde. Terry Hollands did his first World's Strongest Man that year. But in that competition, they weren't the best guys in the world at that time. So, it wasn't until it kind of all came back together. And to be quite honest, the top few guys at IFSA then started dominating World's Strongest Man. So you did have some of the best guys missing. But 2002 Marius and 2003 Marius be absolutely the best guys on the planet. He is, without question, one of the best there's ever been.
Comment here saying that sucks for Rob. He needs to win both events today to have a chance. Not only did he need that, he needed the guys like Matt and Adam to be coming almost last on the events.
Rob's my friend, and I hope he doesn't take this in a bad way because I spoke to him. If you guys, some of you may have seen, I did a Talking Strongman with Rob leading up to Worlds. He sounded really positive. Training was going well. Competition's not gone well. No. He's clear. Like the deadlift for me is a big example of he's not in his best shape. Because deadlift's not an event you can really make a mistake with. Like you can make a mistake, but you're either strong enough or not. Like he only got 3, I think, on the deadlift, which just clearly shows his deadlift strength is way down for some reason. For what reason, I don't know. Maybe the fact that he's retiring has had the opposite effect that he wanted. Sometimes people are like, it's my last comp, like Brian doing the Shore Classic. I'm going to go out and give it absolutely everything. Yeah. Other people are like, you know what? I don't have that hunger anymore. And like a few years ago, Rob he won the Arnold's Australia against some really good opposition. 2019. And he was hungry and it did amazing. And then he picked up some injuries. He's had cancer since then. And from talking to him, although he's not old, he's only 32.
Yeah.
He's not old, but he just seems to be distracted by other things. And this is me saying it as his friend. I'm not kind of criticizing him because I feel the same. Like, I don't have the same motivation that I had back in 2012 to do strongman. Still love training, still love being around the sport, but do I want to go to World's Strongest Man and absolutely kill myself against the best guys in the world? No, I don't anymore.
No.
And sometimes that happens to, well, it happens to all of us at one stage. It's much easier to be hungry when you're younger and on that way up. And when your body starts breaking down, you pick up injuries. I mean, I've never had to go through cancer. That's a scary process for anyone. Maybe he just doesn't want it as much as he used to.
The Mercury Foundry, there we go. 2022, Evan had a better time on car walk than Hooper. Different groups, but still, it's the only time I've seen someone do better than Mitch on a yoke event. Well, so, I mean, Evan was incredible because he came back from the hospital to do that. 9 seconds something he did it in. And the next best times were people like Rob Kearney and Mitch, who were at the 11-second mark. That's the only time Mitch has ever done car walking competition. All his other results have actually been on a yoke. So it'll be interesting to see what his time is this year, to see how he's moved that, well, hopefully forward and not backwards.
It's not an event that Mitch needs to focus on that much because it just comes natural.
It's
to
one
him.
of those natural strengths, I guess.
And he's not in a pressure situation. Mitch is weird. Like, if it was the final, I'd 100% say he's going to go in there to win. Now he knows he just needs to stay ahead of, well, to be honest, he doesn't even need to beat Andre. He needs to watch what everyone else does in the group and get second place. So he'll probably look at what everyone else does and then have a good indication of how fast he needs to go. And he'll still go quick because, like I said, with the yoke, it's actually detrimental to plod with it. You're better off just picking it up and running and kind of just keeping stable because you're under the weight for less time. So I think he'll pick it up, do it in around 10 seconds and treat it as a training run.
Yeah. Looks like they're still repairing the the Viking press. Very annoying. What have we got here? Johnny, thank you for the super chat. Now, hang on. When it did come back together, Puds beat Big C? No, he didn't. In 2009, it came back. So 2008, IFSA split. No, IFSA went under. 2009.
Actually, 2004, Z beat Puds.
Yeah.
Before it split, Vasil Vrastic won that competition.
Yeah.
Then it split. And 2005, Zadrunas and Vasil competed in IFSA. Marius won World's Strongest Man. And then when they all came back together,
Zadrunas won the World's Strongest Man
in 2009.
Yeah.
And I think Marius was second and Brian Shaw was third.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, and that was Marius's last World's Strongest Man competition.
Marius actually has a better head-to-head record against Zadrunas, but Marius never beat Zadrunas from 2004 onwards, I believe.
Okay. Los hates Rob confirmed? Question mark.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. Where are we? Imagine Novikov, Melstead. Melstead has retired from Strongman.
You've been doing body. They've got a baby on the way, haven't they?
Yeah. He's just completely retired. Shane, Kilishkovsky, Hicks, Hathor, Lissis were there also. Yeah, we are missing some good guys this year, but it's an opportunity.
I will say this as no disrespect to any of those men because they're all fantastic athletes, but you can only beat who's in front of you. If an athlete's not at a competition, if you're not at a competition, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
We can all say ifs and buts, but unless you're in the arena battling, it does not matter. So it's just Lissis I thought was going to be amazing at the Arnolds. He wasn't. So like Hicksy, I absolutely love Hicksy, doesn't tend to do well at World's Strongest Man. And Hicksy, I think, is one of the strongest men I've ever met. Like, you train with Hicksy and he's just a beast. But his results at Worlds, not the best.
Yeah. So they are lifting.
Kilishkovsky can't stay uninjured at the moment. And that's a big factor as an athlete. Me, Jerry Pritchett, we've been through that same thing. If you get injured, you can't compete. So it's there's always the what ifs, but you got to be in there, you got to be competing.
Melstead, are we talking about Athor Ingelsson Melstead said he's not retiring. He's taking a break because
I hadn't heard that he retired, but I knew that he was focused on bodybuilding and family at the moment.
Time. He said strongman was costing him too much in terms of his health, his family life, and money as well to actually compete. So he was done with it. So I don't know why we've got different knocking that Flowers guy, Shane Flowers. You're fine.
Damn it, Shane.
One bicep injury, Shane. Let's not get carried away.
Yeah. But like, look, I know what it feels like to be in Shane's shoes. Shane's been doing amazing in one-day shows or some of the other shows, and then World's Strongest Man, it's just not been going his way. Either picking up an injury beforehand, had a bit of bad luck. Was it last year?
Oh, 7 for Bish. That's not
Not
good.
good. Is that
12
last?
for Rag. Yeah.
No,
it's joint with Par, yeah. And 12 for Matt Rag.
Yeah. So this is interesting because Matt's dropped a couple of points there.
Matt has, but he was
actually
5 points ahead
it's
of
great.
Ivers.
It's great for Ivers, but bad for Adam Bishop.
It's really bad for Bish. Let's see what's happened.
And good for Thomas Evans.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this group now then, Matt Rag is now leading with 19 points. Adam Bishop is just half a point behind him with 18.5. Ivers has 15 points. Oh, Thomas Evans has 14 points.
See, this is exciting.
Rob Kearney has 9 and Parr has 8.5. So
Thomas Evans has a chance.
Thomas Evans has a chance of getting in the stone off. I mean, Bish and Ivers could be knocked out with the stone off technically, but I don't think they both would be. It's a little bit risky for Ivers. Matt Rag, how's his car walk? Do we know? Click on him. I don't think he's done one. Or not with car walk. Oh, he's done one at the official Strongman Games.
5th out of 10. What about Yoke?
14 seconds. Yoke. So I should point out that one at the official Strongman Games is also £1,000 and 20 meters. It's
we don't have a huge amount to go off.
No, not recent anywhere.
Yeah, you'll be back, Shane. You've torn your bicep. Now you're an official strongman.
Exactly. It's like a
badge of honor,
isn't it? Yeah. Still got 2 groups to go. Group 4 next.
I will assure you, he's not as small as people think. Mitch, I mean, he's maybe small compared to Thor, but he's 6'3". He's about 320, 330 pounds.
Yeah, about that.
He's not a small man.
Whereas who prep points wise, he is leading his group 2 points ahead of
Mitch's size is all in his legs. He's got monstrous
all
quads.
All legs and neck. Yeah, Mitch is leading his group with 22.5 points. Car walk is the only event left for that group, and Andre Foytu is in second place behind him with 20.5 points.
Shane Flowers, stop hating on Shane Flowers.
Yeah. You leave Shane alone.
It's funny because it's really tough at this day and age where we are in front of a lot more people. So there's a lot more people commenting about how athletes do. No one is harder on an athlete than themselves.
I know. Yeah, you really don't have to.
You knew what it's like living with me.
Yeah.
I was a nightmare when I got injured. I really, really suffered mentally because more so early on. And as I got older, a bit more mature, realized, had kids, realized there's a lot more important things in life than strongman. Actually, it really helped me. And it's important to have that balance in life. And sometimes when you do take a bit of that pressure off yourself, you come back and do better. And I've said this many times. I believe physically I was at my best in 2012, but my best results were 2016 and 2017 after coming back from multiple injuries and almost not coming back a couple of times.
Yeah.
So there's, having the physical ability is one thing, but having that mental attributes to cope with all the pressure and just kind of get back to enjoying it goes a long way.
And yeah, people pointing out that Adam Bishop has done car walk many times. They're correct.
Up and down results for Adam.
Yeah,
I'll say this.
He won it at Britain's Strongest Man last year, but his time was 17.16 seconds, which isn't fast.
No, like I said this as well about Europe's. The times at Europe's were not fast.
No.
Compared to times we've seen before.
Yeah.
But you had at Britain's and Europe's, you had guys like Terry and myself who were very, very good at that type of event. I mean, my slowest time ever on the car walk is about 12.5 seconds.
Yeah.
That was my worst time.
Yeah. For like £1,000, 20
with the exact same car.
Standard. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, it's not a brag. It's just an event I was really
just
good
a
at.
fact.
But
I mean, they did this same setup in 2022 and Bish did 23.38 seconds. So it's looking a little bit nervy for Bish now. He needs a really good run on this car walk.
Yes, he does. His amazing start has kind of been wound back in a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's still in with a great chance. Like, I didn't think Bish had a chance of getting to the final, to be honest.
Well, no,
so
to be honest.
He's done really well. And
Yeah.
Ivers, who I thought would probably cruise through a bit easier, has been struggling.
Yeah.
And Thomas Evans has given himself a chance. So it's an exciting finish for this group.
It is exciting. So the next
Someone's
group...
asking, do you want to? Have you got the points for each group? Just quickly while we're waiting for this thing to be fixed.
So in group number 1, then, after 4 events, Tristan Hoth is leading with 20 points. Luke Stoltman has 17.5 points. Eddie Williams is on 15.5. Trey Mitchell is on 14. Kevin Ferris is on 12.5. Oscar Zilkowski is on 4.5. In group number 2, Mitch Hooper has 22.5 points. Andre Foytu has 20.5. Austin Andrade has 15. Spencer Remick has 10.5. Gav Bilton has 7, but he's now pulled out. Nick Camby has 6.5. And then the group that's just finished, group 3, Matt Ragg is now leading the group with 19 points. Adam Bishop is on 18.5. Ivers is on 15. Thomas Evans is on 14. Rob Kearney is on 9. And Paro Dwyer is on 8.5. And next is group number 4. And the first 2 out are going to be Rauno Hainler and Marcus Crowder. Oh, I am wearing my my top to try and give Rauno some energy. We will see, though. We will see. Very stressed. What have we got? No, give Shane his flowers. Watch the flowers grow, as Neil Pickup would say. 8lift, thank you for the super chat. I'm really hoping to see Evan Singleton on the podium. He works his rear end off. Also, I love you guys. Thank you for everything you do for the sport.
Thank you very much.
We totally believe that Evan could be on the podium this year. Like when we were going through the finals events, looking at all of the athletes we kind of expected to be in the final, it looks really good for Evan. So fingers crossed.
I think the events are really good for Evan Singleton.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think we've both got him on our podium, haven't we? And we will see. Are you all doing fine? Yes. So they're just doing interviews after having fixed the globe again. Mitch is a big dude. I'm 6'1", 125 kilos and feel small next to Mitch. Yeah. I think sometimes you put someone like Mitch next to Tom, he's going to look small. Yeah. But if you go and stand next to him in person, you're going to think, whoa, this is a massive bloke. Yeah, that's how it works in strongman. It's all...
Well, look, people come up to me and they're like, whoa, you're still massive.
Yeah.
They don't realize how big some strongmen are. I mean, you meet some of them and it might not be just the height, but it just might be the depth of them or the width of them or like the size of their legs. They're humongous, people. Loz, you should do an interview with Shane Flowers and find out why he keeps hating on him, on that strongman Shane Flowers guy. Well, we won't worry too much about what he's hating, but we would love to have Shane on here. Maybe we'll get Shane and Kane on together.
Yeah, that would be really fun. Let's do that, please.
If you're up for it, buddy.
Yeah.
I saw someone saying, do I think that Luke Richardson can be top 10 in the world? And absolutely he can. The guy is unbelievable. Just needs to stay injury free, and that is part of strongman. It's part of sport in general. He's immensely talented, and we want to see him back to his best.
Someone's asking where Luke is in his group. He's in a good place right now. He's in 2nd place behind Tristan, 2.5 points off of first, 2 points ahead of Eddie in 3rd, with 1 event left, the car walk, before obviously the stone off.
Yeah.
So he's in a fairly comfortable position there. Josh, thank you for the super chat. How much does jet lag affect the athletes? Do you think the local athletes have a bit of an advantage not having their sleep schedule messed with?
Maybe on a real short trip. So like I used to do a lot of traveling where you literally travel the Friday, compete Saturday, come back Sunday. But for World's Strongest Man, you tend to get there a few days early. You have time to acclimatize. So I don't think it's a major issue. Maybe it affects it a very, very small amount. But for big comps like this, where the athletes are there a little bit longer, they have time to acclimatize. I mean, I know Bish went out 2 weeks earlier than World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
He's been training out in America. So an advantage is like not having to fly. That is a big advantage. Like if you can, for some of the athletes, say you can drive there yourself and bring all your own kind of kit, and you're not limited to a certain amount, because let's remember, strongmen are huge. If they're on a plane that they're only allowed 23 kilos or something, you know, it can be, you might have to sacrifice. I often, if I competed in the UK, I might have 3 different belts that I wear for different events. Whereas when I was traveling, I just took one belt with me. Or, you know, you might kind of hang back on the amount of different shoes that you take. So there is small advantages and disadvantages, but it's important not to let these things affect you too much. But sure, look, to say it doesn't affect it at all, I'd be lying, but I think it's a very small percentage.
Yeah. Someone with the super chat there, Shade, is that disappointing Viking press for Luke? What happened?
Do you know what? He's not that good at Viking press in comparison to, say, his log or some of the other overhead events. His results on Viking press tend to be the worst overhead results we see.
Yeah.
I mean,
he got 13 reps at Europe's, but he got 11 reps on this same setup last year at the Strongman Classic.
I mean, we've seen him come eighth out of 11 twice on the Viking press, third out of 12. 3rd out of 6 in his heat this year.
Yeah, so
it's not like a bank of him like you'd think a log would be.
Yeah, it's just probably his worst overhead, to be honest.
His overhead in the last couple of years has not been as good as it was a few years back.
No,
and that does tend to happen as athletes age.
Yeah,
overhead. I don't know if it's like a mobility issue that we tend to suffer in the shoulders, but I certainly my overhead is crap compared to where it used to be. Rauno's overhead is nowhere near as good as it used to be. I think it's probably one of the first strengths to go for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think so. Because
the shoulders are such complex joints and they can pick up injuries very easily as well.
People speculating the heights of different athletes. This is sometimes I see what athletes list themselves as, and I'm like, no, you're not that tall. Absolutely.
Like Shane is a massive guy. Like Shane Flowers. Yeah, when you see him in person,
he's surprisingly big in person.
Probably about 6'4", and you know, when you see the amount of muscle he carries, he's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. Got those traps that sort of connect to his ears.
Like Janasha's traps. I mean, they're mental.
Yeah, Janasha's something else. Oh, Rauno and Crowder coming out. Oh God, please everyone pray for Rauno. He's really not very well. I called him this morning to just give him a bit of a morale boost and wish him good luck. And he sounded like death, didn't he? So fingers crossed, though. He won't give up. But this isn't his best event. Oh, let's see. Shane Flowers. Oh, stop it. He loves it, really. Okay, so group number 4. First out, Rauno. Oh, they're lifting. Oh, God. Don't stop lifting, Rauno. I don't really know what to expect from Marcus for this event.
I think he'll be all right.
After them, it's going to be Kane and Evan's Nana. Then it will be Evan and Pablo. What's that say? Reset. Reset. Usually resting, I'm guessing, supposed to say. Come on, Rauno.
Praying for Rauno, cough for Rauno, yes. Rauno emojis. Is this group 4?
Yes.
Okay, we still got one more group.
Yes. Yeah, no faster today. Some of that's due to the globe by the sounds of it being a bit wobbly. Don't want that thing flying off halfway through a lift. Oh. Okay. No, Rauno's done. Oh, time. Okay. Fingers crossed. Let's see what comes through. Oh, dear. Very stressful.
Praying for Rauno.
You should get some of the athletes stuck at home to call in and join parts of the watch party.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, Shane, would you like to join us at any point? Let us know. Thank you, Ross, for the idea and the super chat. Shane's like, no, back off. Blind colour. And thank you for the super chat. Have you seen Eddie Hall trying to find Evan's Nana? 9 reps for Rauno.
That's all right for Rauno.
Yeah. Hopefully that beats someone. I need to check and see. 12 for
12 for Crowder.
I need to see what the dog's got. She's got something.
So, I think 9 is decent for Rauno.
Yeah.
It's just probably not going to be enough. Kane, Evans, Singleton, and Pavlo. I have to wait and see. We'll wait and see. 3D Strength thinks Kane's going to be in the stone off. He's got a chance. Decent events for him today. So he's definitely got a chance.
Everyone in that group has a chance.
Yeah, like this is just a crazy group. That's good advice. Always good advice. Cough in the chat. Rauno.
Can't figure out what she had.
Thor, when you see him, Thor from a distance looks like a normal guy, and as he gets close, you're just like, my God, he's massive.
Yeah, he's still getting larger. Yeah, Thor's huge. There's quite a funny shot at the end of the Arnold's the first day. I was filming Seb. I'm holding my camera here, and Seb's like, there. And then I'm filming Thor, and I'm looking up at him because he's so close. Yeah, so the angle on it is really odd.
You see, Graham Hicks has been out there training with him. There's a picture of the two of them. But if you look at it, Graham is stood on a mat.
Oh, really? That's so funny. Oh, you big motherfucker. Deary me. Round 26 reps. And the crowd goes wild. Can you imagine?
Shane can surely drive over. He's still not that close. Shane's right at the bottom of the UK, isn't he?
Yeah, Shane is still a good 2-hour drive from us. It's not the distance, it's the roads to get there. There's no motorway or main road to get down there. So you've got to go literally through the woods. It's all winding roads and everything.
I think Shane and the Stoltmans normally have the furthest to travel for each comp.
Yeah, the most awkward journeys as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just quite remote down there in terms of like links to the north. How is Pablo's overhead?
Very good.
Yeah, it is good. Again, he's one of the more sort of jerky type athletes. I'm not sure.
Jerky.
I said with love. So let's have a little look at his Viking press results because he was at Europe's Strongest Man.
I think he did okay.
He came 6th, and he got 12 reps.
Where was that against? Who was?
Let's have a quick look. So the Viking press was won by Andre with 16.
Shane Flowers was on 11.
Yeah, Shane got 11. Gav got 11.
Pablo Brown only got 6.
At Europe.
Yeah.
Nick Canby got 13.
I'd expect Pavlo to do okay on this.
Yeah.
I think Pavlo, especially after that loading yesterday, has put himself in contention to get into the stone off.
Nana and Kane are out.
Okay.
There we go.
So Evans Nana is very, very good at yokes and car walks. This event, I'm a bit more concerned. He's worked hard at it. He has improved, but it's probably his worst event in the heat.
Yeah, probably. But we'll see. Anything can happen. Oh, Rano and Marcus results are through. Let's try and catch up. Oh, I think we are caught up. Lovely. So
they are lifting.
Yeah, they are lifting. We can see what happens.
Yeah, driving from Norwich to Wales is a nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Liz is willing to sacrifice Evans Nana for Rauno.
I would. Sorry, Evans. I've known Rauno no longer. Looking good. Oh, sounds promising.
Good.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Rest for both
of them.
Like a little put down.
Evans is like a puppy. He rings me, and he's
so
such
sweet.
A nice, sweet guy.
Yeah.
And you just want to see him do well. And I know, like, people love watching him.
Yeah. Let's see. Poor Nana. He's fine. He's got the backing of Loz. He doesn't need me. Rauno needs me. Oh, what have we got? No, I'll be obviously happy for Evans and Kane as well. I love Kane. So we'll see.
I've made Toby's legs too big. Toby's strength improvements have been amazing.
Humble brag if ever I heard one.
Welcome to my last 20 years of life.
Yeah.
Getting suits is not the one.
No.
As a strong man.
8 for Nana.
Okay. So he is behind Rauno.
Where's my plant?
I moved it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he is behind Rauno. Yeah.
How many for Kane?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
Liz could qualify for the finals with these events. Probably could, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't even have to do
12
the
for
walk.
Kane.
Oh, very good
Very
for Kane.
good.
Very nice. So let's go back to our spreadsheet. Hold on. Because right now I'm looking at Handsome Pav. We have got... Okay, so Evans on 8, Rauno on 9, Marcus and Kane tied on 12. Pavlo and Evan Singleton are going to be the last pairing in this group.
I have a feeling both will beat that.
I do too. I think 13 for Pavlo, 14 for Evan.
Evan is in a very comfortable position, so it depends what he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean,
But
he's
yeah,
5 points ahead of second
I think
place.
he'll keep pushing and try and dominate the group.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's Evan, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see. Listen, sacrifice you for I wouldn't go that far. That's my husband. Oh, poor Lozzie.
Yeah,
Yes.
Shane, you've got to be happy with 12 for Kane on that one.
Francis is solid
as F.
Yeah, he is. Kane's great, and we knew
just a good all-round competitor.
He had a really good chance. Yeah.
What I love about Kane is you just see the fight in him. He just tries hard all the time.
Yeah. I was saying to you the other day, wasn't I? The first time we met Kane, I hadn't really heard much about him. I'd seen his name quite a few times written down, and it was at Britain's Strongest Man a couple of years ago. And for the whole evening, I thought his name was Francis Kane, and I think I called him Francis, and he didn't correct me.
I called Shane Mitch once.
I still sometimes think about it. Who did you call? Shane. Oh, yeah, you called him Mitch Flowers.
Yeah, he has a brother who's a strongman called Mitch.
Yeah. I got him on camera because that was at the Arnold UK a couple of years ago, and I panned around and Shane's head popped out from behind a screen. He was like, "Did you hear that? That's called me Mitch." It's so funny.
Do you know what I love about Shane though? Is those photos of the strongman as the kids, and like it was the easiest one to know it was him.
It's you, mate. And he's like,
I won't say what gave it away. Shane knows.
Shane knows. Shane definitely knows. With big toes comes big responsibility. Yeah, Kane has the most horrible big toes you've ever seen. They're like spades, aren't they? Will Big Tommy win Group 5? Says Patrick.
So. I do think so.
I think he will too. Thank you for the super chat. He's in a really good position. 2 good events for him to come. I don't think he'll have any problems. What have we got here? Manacle Moose, thank you for the super chat. World's Strongest Man needs to have the comp at an arena, stadium, baseball field like Rogan Giants Live. Seating is sorted, and then there's an actual jumbotron. Just better facilities all around. Thanks for the fun stream.
Thank you very much. So there you have. It looks like it's better this year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we can get even more.
Look, Mrs. Hooper is in the chat. Hello, Ashley. We hope you're having
very
a good time.
happy with how the hubby is doing.
Yeah. Oh, bless her. They got their little baby Peyton out there with them this year as well. She's wearing a very cute hat that matches Mitch's, and it says Moose on there.
Looks like shenanigans are going on in Group 2.
Oh, Group 2?
Yes.
Group 2? That was ages ago.
Yes.
Why can't we move on? Who is in Group 2?
Group 2.
That's Mitch, Andre,
Group
Austin,
2.
Spencer. What sort of shenanigans?
Well, look at the scores.
I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
Well, the top 3 cannot be caught.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can they?
No, they can't. No. So they're not going to do the car walk.
Oh, well, I don't think any of them are going to try that hard on it. Do you?
Why would they?
Which is why I don't like the stone off.
This is the situation World's Strongest Man have created themselves.
This is the situation that they wanted to avoid by doing the stone off.
Yeah.
And all they're doing is bringing an event forward.
Very interesting.
Get rid of the stone off.
Yeah. Get rid of the groups.
Anyway. As you were.
Yes. Where are we? Ooh. Was there any strongman other than Thor where you were blown away by their size? Maybe surprised you because then they were not as big as you thought.
When I first met Wide Pavlo Nekonechny, I was genuinely like, dude, this guy is just stacked. He was monstrous, wasn't he?
Yeah, Pablo. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not really like
Surprisingly big.
I've obviously been doing strongman for so long. I've seen plenty of large
Big
men.
people.
You just kind of get used to it.
It's the wideness of his back.
Yeah, he just carries a lot of muscle. Obviously, I've seen Brian and Thor. They're huge individuals. Anyone that I can think of. Thomas Evans is a big dude. I was always like, when I first met Thomas, I was like, look at the size of this
Thomas
guy.
Is big, yeah. Evan and Pablo are out, by the way. They haven't started yet. The globe needed fixing again.
Okay.
Which is probably what's slowing us down so much. Oh.
They need to hold World's Strongest Man at Arthur Ashe Tennis Stadium in New York. That would be good.
Where are we?
Do you want to quickly do a recap while we are waiting?
I think they're just about to lift, though.
Okay.
So, let's just do a recap of this one group that we're in. So we're in group 4. This is going to be the final heat. So far, we've had Evans Nana lift 8 reps. Rauno lift 9. Marcus Crowder and Kane Francis have both lifted 12. So it's Pablo Cordiaca and Evan Singleton still to go. It's really, really close in points from 2nd place to 3rd place in this group. So every single rep counts here. So we will see. It's doing TV intros.
I am Bibby, massive man. Yes.
Yeah, Bibby is huge.
Not so tall, just
wide.
Monstrous.
Yeah. Yeah, Mitch could still finish 2nd, so could be risky. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
wider than Lalas. Pavlo is wider than Lalas.
Yeah, Pablo is. Lalas is a funny one because
he's short.
A little bit shorter. Yeah, short. It makes him look even more disproportionate, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He looks like Mr. Strong.
The thing is, like, Lalas isn't as big as he used to be.
No, not anymore, no.
When I first met him, I mean, he stacked a lot of muscle on his frame.
Yeah.
But not to the same degree of Pavlo.
No, Pablo is massive. I remember once, like, greeted with a hug by Pablo, and it's like hugging a wall because he's so solid as well, isn't he?
Gerard is shocked by Paul Smith's size.
Yeah.
Sean O'Hagan is massive. Sean's just tall. Like, he's not physically huge in terms of muscularity.
No,
and like I've seen, tall. He is very tall, but I've seen lots of tall people.
I was surprised at how tall Mateusz was. Yeah, Mateusz is tall.
Mateusz is what, 6'4"?
Oh, so sorry, they're lifting, looking smooth. Pablo resting, Evan resting. So 12 reps to beat. I think they're both capable. I'm going to assume these guys are going to be 1st and 2nd on this.
I think so as well, but we shall see. Let's see what results come in.
Oh dear, Evan back under.
What time does the next event start?
Same time as yesterday. I don't know. I will have to check in a minute. I've got like 50 tabs open. It's on one of them. Time. Let's see what they got.
All right, we'll wait for the results.
Content. Just waiting to hear. So 1 p.m. local time, the next one's supposed to start, which is 6 p.m. UK time, so in 2 hours. Just one group to go, though, so fingers crossed.
14 for Pavlo. How many did
Evan in unison, Lozzie?
Go on, you go for it when it comes through.
I reckon 15 for Evan. Because it's Evan. Are you nervously tapping your teeth?
Yeah. The anticipation. So Pavlo's in the lead until we find out what Evan did.
Yeah. I'll let you do it when it comes through. Is Tom Stoltman not big? Yeah, Tom's massive. Evan secured a final spot, they say.
Okay.
Yeah, which we expected. Do we have any points? 16 for Evan.
16 for Evan. So he has guaranteed himself into the final dominating this group, but
oh my god, look at the points in this group. I can't cope. So Evan has qualified already, doesn't need to do the car walk. I wonder if he will. He's got 22 points. 7 points behind him is Pavlo with 15 points. Then it's Rauno with 13 points. Then it's tied between Kane Francis and Marcus Crowder with 12.5 points. Then it's Evans with 9 points. Oh my god.
wow.
That is crazy. Wow.
Is Tom Stoltman not big? Yes, he's a very large man.
Tom's too obvious a pick. He's so large.
Do you know what? It's because I've known Tom for so long, and he wasn't as big when I first met him.
We've seen him slowly grow over.
You just get used to people like Tom.
Do, yeah.
It's when someone you've never met before, and you're sort of like, whoa, look at the size of this guy.
Yeah, we're not surprised by Tom.
Yeah.
Because we know him so well. And we knew him smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the Giants Live, we measured Iron Bibby's arms, or Colin measured his arm.
Of course, Colin measured
it. And I think it was like 29 inches or 30 inches. Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a man that should do arm wrestling. And apparently he's very good.
Bigger than my waist.
I know, like, as people talking about giving birth to big babies and stuff, I know Terry Hollins was massive as a baby. I think he was like 13 or 14 pounds, which is just insane.
He must have been a C-section. Hello, my girl. Do you want to come on the stream with us? Oh, yes, you do. Here she is. Oh, she's got the hiccups.
Yeah, Kilishkovsky is incredible. I mean, he came second at the Arnolds this year. Unfortunately, training for Worlds picked up an injury, and he had a lot of competitions planned this year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
I hope we see him back, but he's another one that's just struggling with injuries. Amazingly talented, but avoiding injuries is something that's so important to try and do.
Oh dear.
Jimmy says, Bibby, definitely the widest person I've ever met in real life.
Yeah, Iron Bibby's huge.
Eddie got himself massive as well, yes.
Alprez Cat, thank you for the super chat. I was shocked on the size of Oberst's head. A lot of strongmen have very large heads. Zojunas was one of them.
Yeah,
we used to call it a TV head. Yeah, because it's like an old school style TV with a big back to it as well. Yeah, it is supposed to be a 1 p.m. start.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, so interview and reset for group number 4.
Cousin Fred, thank you so much. You've been so generous
thank you, Fred.
A few days. Really appreciate it, buddy. But you still can't have my wife.
I was going to say that right there.
But you can take me to Bucky's again one day.
There you go. So in the next group then, Adam is going to have to go out first on his own. Then it's going to be Wesley Dewinski versus Nathan Goltry. Then the final pairing will be Jaco Skumvinkel and Tom Stoltman. How exciting.
If Evan did 13, then he's going for the win. Just do what is needed. If it's 15, he's letting his ego take over. I disagree. I disagree because there's still another event to go. Now, if he goes out and tries to win the car walk, then I would agree with you. But you can get yourself into a rhythm and it's just feeling good. And I think that's probably what he's done there.
Yeah.
There is an argument for trying on every event to keep momentum going as well. I do think it's important to get yourself into the final as fresh as possible. But I wouldn't have said that was ego to do, what was it, 16 that he did?
He did 16, yeah. He's more than capable, and he may have genuinely lost count as well.
Yeah, that happens
there's a lot
so
going
often.
on, isn't
Do you know
there?
how many people I train that can't count?
Oh, yeah. I'm one of them.
It's amazing. And they can be the smartest people. They've got really high-end jobs, really intelligent people. Can't count to 8 though.
Yeah. And your ref isn't counting out your reps for you. They're saying down, lift. They're not saying 1, 2.
So I don't agree that that's necessarily an ego thing there.
Wait, sorry, I didn't know he could clinch with a win.
There you go. So he's guaranteed now that he's through. So I expect he'll probably take it easy on the car walk.
Rauno needs to channel his inner Usain Bolt for the car walk. He does. He needs to cough extra hard to get that tank of his going. And hope for the best. He's in a group of fast yoke runners, though. We don't necessarily know with car walk. It is a slightly different event.
It's a little bit different on the core and the balance.
Rauno's probably the most experienced on a car walk out of those guys, so we'll see.
Like he'll do it. It's just
but
will he be quick enough?
To hang on to third place. And I do feel with Rauno just hanging on to third place.
No one wants to be against Rauno in a stone off. I'll tell you that. But it's whether he can get to the stone off.
Yes. Yeah. I was a 10-pound baby, and I'm somewhat regular lady. Just 6 foot. Oh, 6 foot's quite tall for a woman. Yeah, my son was 9'4", and he's just very skinny, isn't he? He's starting to get taller now. People saying hello to the puppy. Bibby's arms are the size of my thighs, and I've been a cyclist for years.
So someone just asking what happened to Gav. I do have an update on Gav. Heat exhaustion. So he's been pulled from the competition due to heat exhaustion. He does have a knee issue as well. Wish him the absolute best. Hope he is okay.
With Rauno holding on to third, would it be better or worse for Rauno if Evan drops out of the car walk and doesn't do it? Well, they're already missing one athlete in that group. Are they? No one's pulled out of that group.
Really? I don't think Evan affects the car walk. I think Evan will either not do it or he'll win it. So I don't think he is so much of an impact.
I
he has
agree.
Half a point lead over Marcus and Kane, so he has to beat both of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big ask.
It is a big ask. Oh.
I think Marcus, as much as Rauno is a good friend of mine, I think it's going to be Pavlo against Marcus or Kane.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope he proves me wrong. But,
I would love for you to be wrong.
Very good friends with Rauno, and I don't think he's going to beat those two. So people that say I'm biased, there you go.
Up yours. Squatch, thank you for this gifting the memberships. Very kind. 10 memberships gifted. Very, very
Thank
kind.
you very, very much.
Thank you. Denise, thank you for the super chat. Loz, if you coached Evan, would you have him do the car walk or bow out to conserve energy for the finals?
Now that he's secured to the final, I wouldn't even bother with the car walk.
If you were his coach.
Yeah, I would say don't bother. If you have to, just go pick it up and put it down to secure a point. Yeah. If they're saying that you have to do it. He is into the final. He's got that luxury. He's deserved it through his performance that he's put in so far. And he is a major threat to everyone in the final. The more fresh he can be for that final, the better.
Ken, thank you for the super chat. Love this channel and this sport. Hopefully the remaining events today land in between my work obligations so I can tune in. Everybody go do some squats. We don't have time for squats today, Ken.
No training for me today. I'm having a day off the gym today. I'll train tomorrow.
Sitting on this chair for so long is quite painful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the leaning and stuff. Doing all interviews before the last group. Oh, this is a good one. Who is an athlete that made it to the final but was completely buggered by the effort and had nothing left?
Last year, Brian Shaw.
Last year, Brian, maybe. But also, was it Jerry Pritchett in 2015 when they had double points on the stones?
Yes, that's happened to Jerry.
He killed himself to get into the final, and then he was just done.
It happens quite a lot, to be honest, because you'll get a lot of guys that really kill themselves to get to the final, and then by the final, they're just done. Or they pick up an injury. You know, there's been that happen. I think Luke Richardson, obviously, he made the final a few years back and then got injured. Graham Hicks, that happened to. There's been others as well. I can't really think off the top of my head. Are they in the sink? But yeah, but like I've said before, sometimes for some of these guys, just getting to the final is a massive achievement. To say you're top 10 in the world, you know, it's not an official ranking or anything, but if you can go and say I made the final of Worlds, it looks good to sponsors. So for some of the guys, it is everything just to get to the final. For others, they are here for top threes and to win. And everyone's mentality is different. Everyone beforehand says, oh yeah, I've got a chance of winning, but that's not reality. You know, there's a few guys that have a chance of winning. There's a few guys that have a chance of, you know, top 5. And then there's people that will get to the final and be absolutely happy, and then they're happy to come 8th, 9th, 10th. And there's guys that will fight for absolutely everything. So everyone's different. They have a different approach. But yeah, not everyone at World's Strongest Man is there to win, despite what they might say in an interview beforehand. I think something might be happening. 1 second, let me check.
Sorry, I'll be back in a second. I'm just doing a licky.
So Adam in Group 5, Polish Mikowski. I can't pronounce his name. Someone's going to have to help me with that one. He is going to have to go on his own, unfortunately. So he is getting ready to come out. The groups also made a big difference. The groups were never a thing at World's Strongest Man until, was it 94 the group started?
Yeah.
So 94 they started the groups. Yeah, so the champion from the year before, Gary Taylor, didn't actually make the final the first time they did groups. So groups are hard because, like I said, it's 2 separate competitions and different events from the final. So you could have someone that's really good in the final events, but the events in the heats are not their favorite events and they might not make it. Yes, indeed. SSJ Spaz, thank you. Big shout out to everyone gifting memberships. Soon there will be nothing but green names in the chat. I think we're up to around 500 members in total, which is amazing. And 100 of those were from yesterday.
Wow.
Which is just incredible.
Adam coming out.
If you're done, you better be strong. Indeed. Who won Group 4? Evan Singleton has already won Group 4, but it's not finished. The group isn't finished, but he's already won. But there's a big battle going between the rest to get into the stone off.
Yeah. Paris, thank you for the super chat. Is there something in the slimmer frame being more injured? I'm thinking Lissis and Mateusz being injury prone.
I would say
heavy
being a massive man, you can cope with strongman easier than being a smaller framed man. And we've seen this notoriously throughout the history of the sport. You have some incredible smaller guys, but it takes more of a toll on their bodies than it does the bigger athletes. But that's not to say the bigger athletes don't get injured as well.
Adam is lifting, so he's the first to go out in the final group, Group 5. And then after him, it's going to be
interesting to see how Adam does on this, because he needs to pick up some points, and I believe he's good at the car walk. So if he can do a good Viking press, you know, he's probably a bit far off to sort of catch anyone, but he might cause issues for some of the higher placed guys if he gets between them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he
looking good and smooth.
Mess up some of the later guys. Yeah, the thing is with Bobby out, the worst you can do now is 2 points. So Nathan Goltry could do 1 rep and get 2 points, and that would put him against ahead of Adam.
Lots of love for Gav. Nice to see.
Just kidding. He went back. Yeah. Now he's done. What's happening? Oh.
Heidi says counting is overrated.
Yes, it is, Heidi.
Thank you very much for the super.
14 reps for Adam.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
So the most we've seen is 17 from Thomas Evans. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. Thomas also won the overhead in the group stages
last
year.
Did.
It was a log ladder. Very good.
Yeah. I always like comparing the other groups just out of interest, even though we can't always use that as the best guide, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it is still interesting to see. Anthony, thank you so much for gifting memberships. Where are we? Brian Stoneoff last year was so epic. Yeah, it was. That was stressful. Wait, watching that. Oh, Patrick, thank you for the super chat. Who will beat 505 on for deadlifts first?
Do you know what? I think Thor.
I think Thor as well. Yeah.
I think he is the one athlete with the best chance. There's guys, there's guys that might get close, but I think if I was really going to say someone could do it, it would be Thor.
Yeah.
The only issue is Thor's first attempt will be at the Shore Classic, which is without suits. So that makes it harder.
Yeah. Yeah. But then not long after, he's got the Rogue Invitational. So we'll see what the events are there. Thank you very much for gifting memberships. Bino? Do you reckon? Bino? I don't know. Bino. That sounds nice. Thank you. What's going on? Right. So the next grouping aren't out yet. So this is going to be Wesley and Nathan. They were second and third at OSG last year. Let's see how they do. Andre Foytu is currently in Group 2, in second place behind Mitch.
Only 2 points behind.
He was 4th for OSG. 50% of the top 10 from OSG last year are in this competition.
Yeah.
That includes Nick Canby and who else?
Andre
Marcus
Foytu
Crowder.
and the top.
Yeah. Marcus Crowder, Wesley Dewinski, Nathan Galtrey, Nick Canby.
Marcus didn't do it this year, did he? Or last year?
Yeah, he won it. Marcus Crowder.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top 3. And then I said the top 3 plus Andre and
Nick Canby. Yeah. We get there, Lazo. Rumble, thank you for the super chat. Rauno hasn't been to World's Strongest Man many times, right?
No.
Did he start Strongman late in life?
No.
He's been 3 times now.
Rauno competed, was it 2011?
Yes.
When I did my best.
Yeah. He didn't make it out of the groups.
But then Rauno was never invited back
Yeah.
for a number of years.
We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah. There were some issues that were spread that weren't true.
There were rumours that were spread that weren't true about how he's unable
But Rauno in that time kept training hard. He still did a lot of competitions and did very well.
He won a couple of the Arnold's like international competitions. He won the Australian one and the South African one, I think it was. Yeah.
Rauno's a great strongman. I mean, the fact that he's still so good, not just because of his age, because I mean, Rauno is the oldest athlete at Worlds, but we've seen older. But Rauno's had so many surgeries. If you look at him, he's just got scars everywhere.
Scars on top
Big
of
scars.
Yeah.
And somehow he's tough enough to keep wanting to come back. And I've said many times, we spoke about Rob Kearney earlier, doesn't look like he wants it as much. I've said, I don't have that same hunger that I had when I was younger. Rauno still has those nerves kicking and still wants it. He wants to make the final of Worlds. He wants to attempt the deadlift world record still. He loves competing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Coke Ferry, if Thor does it, will Eddie come back? No way.
I don't think so.
Never. Like, he retired from this competition 7 years ago. There's just no way. No. The Bird, thank you for the super chat. Thank you from South Carolina. I'll be there Saturday. Oh, very jealous of all the nice sunny looking pictures and everything.
Someone said, what does gifting membership mean? So we have a members tier where we do extra videos for. Sometimes we do lives just for members, etc. It's an easy way to say thank you for Liz, really, for the effort that she puts into the channel. Gifting members I believe it just randomly gifts them to different people, doesn't it?
I think so.
I don't know
if you can target where your gift goes, to be honest.
So I think if anyone gets it, I think basically you get gifted a membership for a month.
Yeah, it's a 1 month membership. Yeah. Wesley and Galtrey are going. They're lifting.
Time.
And it's done. Sorry, we missed the start. They didn't just get given.
But hopefully that means we get the results very quickly.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I miss one?
No, that's the right one.
Yep.
Jiminy Crickets, thank you. 60% of all gains come from accidentally doing too many reps at the other 40% are what's that? Missed off,
I guess.
Okay.
Thank you very much, buddy.
One of your favorites, isn't there?
I don't have favorites, but
of course, no.
I think I do have a soft spot for Jiminy.
OSG producing some monsters. Oh, it is random, apparently.
Yeah, it's random, the gifting.
Yeah. And you have to have membership gifting turned on into
So
receive one
Rick
in order to receive
is one of our moderators, and he does an amazing job for us.
Yes.
So let's give Rick a little airtime and thank you, because we do appreciate what you do, buddy.
There you go.
Even if I called you fat the other day.
Yeah. The dog is trying to steal my shoe. Oh, no, she has successfully stolen my shoe. There we go. Right, what have we got? 13 reps each. Okay, so Adam currently in the lead with his 14 reps.
Nice.
13 for Wesley, 13 for Nathan. Okay. And
if you guys that are members want to see certain things that we haven't put up, or you've got there's certain things that we do with the family, but we'll do just videos for members.
Yeah.
Things that maybe aren't as interesting for people that just want to focus on strongman. If you've got things that you do want to see, let us know, and we will try and bring more interesting content, because I know you've spoken about wanting to do more.
It's just actually the problem is not knowing what people want, and people want different things. I think it's always hard to please absolutely everyone, but
thank you to everyone that does become a member.
Mad to think Rana was the oldest, practically a baby compared to Felix's age last year. To be fair, Mark Felix was a lot older than everyone else.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay.
But members do get like weird emoji things that you've added for them they can use.
They've got special emojis and stuff they can use. So all those little pictures you see of like Ivers and Rauno and some of the other channel favorites. And they get the members comment, which kind of acts like a super chat each month too. Benji, thank you for becoming a member. Where are we? So it's going to be Yako and Tom next, and they will be the final pairing on this event.
People want to see Liz training.
You a bunch of perverts. There is a training video. There's one.
That pathetic one.
It's only pathetic because you filmed. Actually, you didn't even film it. I had to bring my tripod. Yeah, I need a videographer.
That is actually the goal of the channel, is if we can get to the point where it earns enough money so we can have someone work for us, to bring more content. We want to do more news videos, more, just try and make it the best strongman news channel. I try not to put too much of like our own stuff on there, because I want it to be strongman focused. Obviously for members and stuff, if you want to see my training or other things, then we'll bring that to you. But
day in the life type stuff.
Eventually, hopefully, we can have someone working on the channel as well.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Will Singleton just lift the yoke? We don't know, to be honest. There's a good chance he just doesn't even go out at all. We saw that with the Wrecking Ball hold 2 years ago.
He is in such a luxury position that even a 0, he still wins the group.
Yeah, he's 7 points ahead. He cannot not win now. So you were saying if he was your client, you'd say don't bother, wouldn't you? So we'll see, because Evan's one of those. If he does it, he'll probably win it.
Yeah. It is a great event for him. Yeah. I mean, what a position to be in. You don't have to do your best event.
Yeah. I mean, he was probably really looking forward to doing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
The first event in the final has a very similar event to this.
Yeah.
So maybe he thinks, I want to save my energy for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or knowing Evan, maybe he thinks, it'd be a good little practice for the final. We'll see.
There's arguments for and against both.
Yeah.
There really is. Like, there's always a risk to doing events at this level. So you don't want to take any unnecessary risks. But sometimes having a bit of a warm-up can be useful.
Bryant and who's this?
Linda asked how much the membership is. It's $3.99, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's in dollars.
YouTube take a cut of that as well.
Yeah.
I think is it 30-ish, 35%? I don't know. Do you know?
They take 30%. Okay. Yeah. There you are. Thank you for joining, Linda.
Thank you.
There you go. Liz arm wrestling. Because we're so competitive.
Don't move the computer.
I'm not.
She's actually like the fact that she tries really hard, and she has a very strong hand, but not strong enough.
No. Well, obviously not against you. You're very worried if I could beat you.
I would be.
Not perv, Liz. You'll be the training inspiration. Oh, I've gone warm.
Right.
Right. Last two coming out now. So this is Tom Stoltman and Yako Skumwinkle. So a little reminder of this group.
14 reps at the moment.
Yeah, 14 reps to beat by Adam. Wesley and Nathan both with 13 each. So the points leading into this event: Tom Stoltman currently on 16, Yako Skumwinkle on 15, Nathan on 10.
Now, if Yako and Tom can beat 14, Adam doing 14 becomes quite pivotal and allows those two to kind of stretch away, doesn't it?
Hold on, let me put them in the correct order. So if he got 14 and if...
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Interesting. Oh, where are we? Do you think Evan Singleton's tactic of being more mellow and calm is helping him?
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of high intensity back slaps. Yeah. It's definitely helping him. Like Evan, you can really see how he's matured.
Especially at World's Strongest Man, because like I said, there's still 2 full days of competition to go, plus a day of more TV stuff. you can't get hyped up for 5 days at Worlds. You have to be able to hold back and switch it on when it matters.
They are lifting. So this is Tom Stoltman and Jaakko Schoenwinkel, last pairing of the day for this event anyway. Ooh. How exciting.
Yeah. Last two athletes on the Viking press. Big Tommy and last year's finalist, Jaakko Schoenwinkel.
Anthony saying, I've been a member for over a year and your training videos are my favourite to watch.
Thank you very much.
Mine or
his? I wouldn't mind recording like a week of my training because it's very different at the moment. I don't know if people would find it interesting or not. They are starting.
They're moving again, both. They were just resting. Yeah, no, they've started. It should be time very soon. And Jaakko done. Time.
Let's see what they got.
So 14 to beat in this group. Let's see. Excuse me. Thank you, Chris, for becoming a member. Misty Cron saying, I think Jaakko might beat Tom here.
We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, we will. Mike, thank you for becoming a member. And Johnny with the
12 for Jaakko.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So that's not good for him.
That's not good. That's the worst so far in this group. Sorry, lowest, not worst. And Tom.
14 for Tom.
So tied with Adam.
So Tom is going to be very happy with that. That's kind of perfect for Tom, really.
Yeah, not great for Jaakko. Let's see what that's done. Let's remember Jaakko Schoenwinkel, based on what we know about him, not the best stone lifter. So he's really going to want that second place advantage going into a stone off.
We'll wait for the overall scores to get updated.
Wait for the update. And then we'll quickly get through the last of the super chats, etc. Right, so we've got it here then. Right, Tom is now quite comfortably leading with 21.5 points. Jaakko is holding on to second place.
Only half a point ahead of Wesley.
Yeah, so Jaakko has 17 points. Then Wesley has 16.5 points. Then Nathan has 13.5 and Adam has 11.5. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's going to be another really close battle.
I think Tom's done a good job there, putting himself in a nice position. But yeah, this going to be an exciting one for second place in this group.
Schoon's about to be winkled, says Wrecked. Aki, thank you for becoming a member. We're going to quickly wrap up here, guys. Did you do that other
one that you went?
Oh, sorry. No, I didn't. Sorry, Johnny. Thank you for the super chat. I screwed up. Puds beat Z in 2002 and 2003.
And
whoops.
Puds 2002, 2003 was unbelievable. Yeah. Was it 2003 when he was just ridiculously dominant? He was
ridiculous. Yeah, that was when they did a montage at the end, like, he is so strong. I love that. Imagine.
That was I think that was the most dominant performance we've ever seen.
It was, yeah. We did a video about it recently.
There was I believe Bill Kazmai got more points one year, but it was a different scoring system.
It was a totally different
Whereas that year,
system.
I think Puds was either first or second in every event.
Almost every event, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, can you imagine? You've just finished Worlds. There's a camera in your face. Tell us how strong Marius is, how great Marius is. I'd be like, no. Never mind. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'm going to call you Yaz for sure. Does it make sense over multi-day comps like this to do each event to keep active, even though you've already qualified? I mean, there's active and there's bloody active, isn't there, doing strongman events?
For me, no. But that doesn't mean that it's not right for someone else. There are people that love to keep active. And I think you've got to find what works best for you as an athlete. My argument is always risk versus reward. And I have been bit by trying to do too much in the past before. I think it's more important to get to the competition arena and be ready than to do more and risk hurting yourself. That's from personal experience. It's from trying both methods myself. There are people that very successfully use the staying active method. But for me personally, it never worked out well.
Thank you, Scouse Baseball Fan, for becoming a member. We're all caught up with super chats and everything else. So we're going to quickly run because got to pick up the kids, got to feed the kids, got to do everything.
We have, but that's left for some interesting final events later on. We'll be back in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, about that. Yeah,
cool.
I may push it.
We may push it to
we're going to keep an eye on what we're hearing coming through, if they're running on time or not. Yesterday we ended up waiting quite a long time before events were starting, so there may be some slight alterations.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and hopefully we see lots of you later. Take it easy.